AprilHunter.com.
I'm Bobby Ches, a three-time world champion, Showtime expert analyst.
This is Coolio with the Flow, a.k.a. the Ghetto Gourmet.
This is Dan the B7, the only Triple Crown champion in the UFC history.
Hi, everybody. This is Jerry the King Lawler. That's right, WWE Hall of Famer.
This is Jeff Damon from Deadliest Warrior on Spike TV.
You have tuned in and are now live listening to the three-time NWA Heavyweight Champion of the World, Scrapper Adam Pierce. And just like you, I am also locked in. And, brother, we are beyond ringside.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off.
Yeah.
Greetings, good evening, and welcome to Sunday in more ways than one. Yeah, we got you kickoff right here. This is Beyond Ringside. 25 minutes till the top of the hour, Fast Study Lane over in the Ed Cave, the full-range entertainment studios on this Sunday kind of thing. Like to welcome in tag team partners Mark Mabo Bowman.
Hey, you know what the difference between a pile of sand and a pile of dead babies is?
What's that?
I don't eat sand.
There you go. Like to welcome in tag team partner, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis. What's up, Wick?
Maybe the Unlucky Charms, more effective than deer antler spray, everyone. Put that under your tongue, Ray Lewis.
I actually caught the national anthem just a few minutes ago. I believe it was Alicia Keys singing. And
awesome. Awesome. She is
incredible.
No pre-record.
That would be a replay moment. I have a feeling there's going to be a single coming. If they could do it, if they could do it for Whitney Houston, by God, they can do it for Alicia Keys on that one. And I think Alicia Keys blew Whitney out of the water. I don't care if some people think it's too soon, but Keys just had a phenomenal voice.
Well,
yeah, I agree with you.
Well, it's ironic, it's ironic you say that, Alicia Keys blew Whitney out of the water, because usually Whitney blew Bobby. Out of the water.
Which swings in the water. Sinks.
Whitney, well, she does now. Coffin's got away a ton. Yeah. Oh, two tsunami.
Ooh, two tsunami, yes.
All right. Anyway, look.
It's my prerogative to get so emotional.
Okay. Look. Anyway, no, we're not going to talk about anything because I've got something to say. I've got something to get off my chest, and I'm not waiting. Well, I'm not waiting till last calls or anything like that.
Bring it.
So you two, this is coming strictly from a fan's perspective. So you two sit back and let me say what I got to say. First off, as those who are listening, who are in the Birmingham, as Eddie says, the Birmingham market, or home market, or whatever drivel he likes to spit out, Raw, WWE Raw House Show was going on at the Birmingham Jefferson Civic Center. And for those of you who've known me for a long time, know that on most occasions, since the early 90s, I will go down to the Civic Center. Since I was able to drive, I would go down to the Civic Center, meet the wrestlers, get autographs, take pictures, show appreciation. Not to be a mark, but to show appreciation. Shake hands, say, hey, look, I appreciate what you do. You make my dreary life a little bit better. I swear to God, next year I am going to start genetic cleansing that area. Because if I have to hear one more toothless, inbred redneck sit there and go, hey, man, come sign these autographs. You owe it to us. You owe it to us. Take a picture. Come sign some autographs. Talk to me. Acknowledge me. They don't owe you anything. If they wave and say thank you because they have to get inside because they have to clock in just like you do at Burger King, let them. If you know the show starts at 1 and everybody's showing up at the arena at 11:30 and they have to get inside and clock in and check in with their bosses and do what they've got to do to get ready, shut up. Sit there, pick your boogers, kiss your sister wife on the mouth, and mind your own damn business. They really don't owe you anything. If they stop and say thank you, if they wave, shut up and be happy with that. That's all you got to worry about. All right? If they don't acknowledge you, that's their prerogative. Especially if they're a heel, bad guy, whatever you want to call them, and they don't say anything. Are you surprised? Are you really surprised? If you see them talking on their phone when they get out, do you think they're going to come over and hang up the phone? You don't know what they're doing. Shut up. And another point, you don't know anything. Don't sit there and go, oh, well, I know this person's going to beat this person, and that person's really this person under a mask. But shut up. You don't know anything. Shut your damn mouth. And on a side note, if they say every Monday night, if they say, we are live from so-and-so, that means if it's a Sunday and you're at a show, they're not taping nothing to re-show. They're not going to tape something and show it tomorrow night. They're not showing this show. You inbred turds. I don't know how many goobers I sat there I just sat there and listened to them go, well, they're taping this and they're going to show it on Raw tomorrow night. We're going to be on the television, Ma. No, you're not. You're not. When you get in there and you see no announce table, when you see no cameras, you're going to feel like an idiot. Just like when you try to do basic math. So let me explain something to you, fans in the state of Alabama. They owe you nothing. Really. They owe you nothing. You pay them, they entertain you. That's it. That's all they owe you. If they come up and if they come up to you, autograph, and they say, hey, thank you for coming to the show, that's their prerogative. But they don't have to come over there. I work at Target. You give me money, I give you merchandise. I don't have to sign an autograph or say thank you for buying my merchandise. All I really have to do is walk away. So leave those people alone and let them do their job. And realize that you're an idiot. And honestly, half of you need to brush your teeth and the other half need to take a shower. And that's all I got to say.
Wicked, I'll turn to you.
I don't know if there's anything that needs to be added to that.
See, here's the thing. And different people have a different philosophy on business and the way that they handle themselves in public scenarios. That's normal. And Mark said it perfectly. If you know bell time is 1 and they're just getting there at 11:30, guess what? Chances are a lot of them are running late.
Especially if they don't even know what time zone, if they've only been to this state once a year, or especially when some of them come from time zones, different time zones. I don't know how many times I've been out there and somebody's pulled up and they've been like, hey man, what time is it? It'll be like 12 p.m. and then they go, they get the look in their eye and they're like, what time zone? They're like Central. They're, oh, thank God we're early.
Yeah. As opposed to being in Atlanta where you'd be on time or late.
Yeah. Which, a lot of them are going over to, all of them are going to Raw tomorrow night.
Correct. In Atlanta, which is in the Eastern time zone. We're in the Central time zone. Exactly.
So, when call time, if the show is, say the show is a Raw and the call time is 5:30, 5 o'clock. Actually, the call time is usually about 2 or 3. And it's, 10 in the morning, that's a different story. They still don't have to, in all the years I went down, Trish Stratus never stopped once. Never stopped once. Her prerogative. Guys who you thought would never stop, they stopped. But that's their prerogative.
Exactly.
So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you're perfectly fine, dude. Your point was well proven. Even at the local shows, independent shows, your regional promotions, if there's an opportunity like during intermission when a lot of the talent will come out onto the floor, and that doesn't mean that they're going to make their way around to all the seats. That means they're going to come out to the floor, come out to a table, give you a chance to walk up, say hi, sign an autograph, da-da-da-da-dum. But don't expect them to come walking around the entire facility, the venue, and shake hands, kiss babies. And if somebody comes out from the other locker room where the fan favorites aren't, don't think that just because it's intermission that they're doing the same thing that the fan favorites are. You have to look at things from a number of different perspectives. It is from the time from where the show opens to the show closes. Guess what? If someone comes out from the non-fan favorite locker room, chances are they're going to ignore you or say, shut up, go away. There's a reason for that. I think Chris Jericho said it perfectly. That's their job. But go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, and another thing, I'm officially changing Big E Langston's name. He's no longer going to be called Big E Langston because he's not that big, so I'm just calling him E Langston.
There you go. Or moderately big E Langston.
I mean, he was, he's wide as all outside, but
shit.
That boy was not very tall. I would say he was maybe 6 feet at most.
At most. I think, definitely Wicked is taller than him. AJ's almost not too far under his height, so I think he might not even be 6 foot. Maybe 5'11".
No, he's 6 foot. But running the house shows this week, or at least for the Raw brand.
Yeah.
I know Corey Graves, formerly Sterling James Keenan, he's running SmackDown, but on the Raw brand, I was a big fan of the tag team, The Ascension, that was down at NXT. Conor O'Brien, who used to be on the actual NXT show itself, doing he was doing the Rat Man gimmick or whatever.
Yeah.
But they started doing The Ascension, and of course Kenneth Cameron, punched a cop, whatever, I don't know, got fired. But Conor O'Brien, he's doing the house shows.
Yeah.
And he's a tall guy. He's not like, like tall, but he's probably about a good 6'3", 6'4". That man has put on muscle mass far from when he first started, even on NXT. You want to talk about a beast?
Yeah.
That boy was a beast. Look, just walking, he looked like a beast. And Jack Swagger rocking the San Francisco 49ers Zubaz pants today. Even though he's on the SmackDown brand, he's doing the house show. He walked up. He was filming the crowd, and he was rocking. I screamed out, "Holy crap! He's got Zubaz pants on!" And he pulled up a little part of his shirt, and you could see the 49ers logo. So I'm sure the show's over with. They're probably all sitting somewhere watching the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know the Red brand was down in Montgomery, Alabama last night. They came up to Birmingham today, and I know a lot of the people that we know went down to the show. I was not able to go. Situation prevails. I don't think. Now, Mark, you were down there as everybody was getting there. You had a chance to. I think you said you spoke to Caitlin for a hot second while she was on the way in, and that was the only one you had an opportunity to speak with, right?
Yeah, I mean, all of them spoke. All of them walked by, spoke, waved. She was the only one that, she stopped and she signed a handful of autographs because she had to get in. By the way, I've seen Kane without mask and bald. I've seen Kane with mask and hair. Seeing Kane with a little bit of hair, it was almost Paul Heyman-esque the way it looked. It really was. And no mask, weird as hell. Like, I thought it was Dan Spivey's like Waylon Mercy's grandfather looking.
Wow.
It was creepy looking. Like, I thought he was going to rape me.
14 minutes before the top of the hour, going to be joined by professional wrestling star 7 at the top of the hour, which will be 7 Eastern, 6 Central, 4 Pacific. And at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central, we're going to be joined by pro wrestling star Terry the Rocker Lawler, making his return to Beyond Ringside. He's going to be here talking about, of course, what's going on with him and the upcoming show in Georgia, A Nightmare to Remember 3, the tribute show for Nightmare Ted Allen. Always a great affair over in the Peach State of Georgia. Also, from that vantage point, we are working with a number of stars who are part of the Gut Check Challenge for Total Nonstop Action Wrestling for Impact. And you've had a chance to hear a couple of them go through the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. And as situations prevail and more of them come in, we've got an invitation out to a number of them that have been on Beyond Ringside before. And Eddie,
I hate to cut you off, but they've changed it. Remember, we've had them plugging where it was like, voting ends
March 11th.
Whatever, and only one person from each bracket will go on. They have changed that.
Okay.
It is now voting ends February 15th.
Oh boy.
And it's a top 3.
Oh, that works.
So, and then I guess the next round will be, a 3-way dance between the 3 from each bracket, and then move on.
Now, the question is, and I'm going to go to Wick first, because last night after the show that Wick and I were both working, we were doing a wrap-up show, myself and Ted Guinness with that promotion, and we invited Wicked Nemesis to come over, and one thing that he has held true to, that a lot of people fell short on, and I will admit that I made a glancing reference to it early in the evening, but as the night went on, I kind of got away from it. But he was one of the mainstays who actually wished everybody a happy National Pro Wrestling Day. So, first off, hell of a way to drop that one in. Greatly appreciated, and thank you for stepping on over. Anytime that camera's rolling, step on up. We're gonna find a way to get you on there. But from that vantage point, have you personally heard, because I know Mark's been out and about all day, so he hadn't had a chance to do that many updates. But Wicked, have you seen updates come in from National Pro Wrestling Day?
No, I'm sorry. I was taking care of Unlucky Charms business. I did not get a chance to see, but I'm sure if you follow Sugar Dunkerton on Twitter, I'm sure he has some updates of it. But I knew yesterday going in that there was a huge turnout because I saw a few pictures of the fans and what he put and what he was retweeting from a few of the guys on the mega card, if you will, of National Pro Wrestling Day. But hey, it is a national holiday, and we celebrated it in Palmerdale, Alabama last night. So
yeah, we did. We had some fun with it too.
Well, I know that they, I guess that they had anticipated more people because they actually changed the venues at one point.
Yeah,
like literally the day before, like the day or two before.
It was supposed to be at Derby Ink Gardens, and they changed it. Yeah,
they had to change it to like an armory or something.
Yeah,
something went on to where they had to go for a larger venue. If you give me a few minutes, I know we're going. It's 10 minutes before the top of the hour. It's brisk 34 degrees outside. The wind is blowing out of the northeast. We expect a slight rainfall coming in from the northwest. And I'm Drizzly Monday. Thank you for tuning in.
And if you're traveling east on Highway 26, there is no collision, so therefore there is no reason for you to drive slower than the speed limit. This is Crash Lane from the traffic center. And just call me Crash. I like that idea. But yeah, National Pro Wrestling Day. I did hear a couple of things come down the pike from what other people were talking about last night at the post-game party. And from that vantage point, I really wish we could have all been up there for that.
Did you call that a party? I call that an awkwardness of applesauce. That's what I call that.
Well,
wait. What did you call it?
An awkwardness of applesauce.
Awkwardness applesauce?
Yes.
Yes.
Awkwardness of applesauce.
Oh, I was going to say, is that anything like awkward balloon?
No,
it's like an awkward sea turtle armada.
Yeah, because there are.
Sea turtle.
I'm going to draw heat for this. There are some times when the kids don't need to sit at the big kids table.
Yeah, you think?
No, I don't have to think. I know. I was against.
I
was
had
against
to
that.
Get out of there. Sorry.
Yeah, because granted, certain circumstances were in play, but there's no circumstance other than it's like no. There are certain lines that should never be crossed, and last night a certain line was crossed, but we won't go over that one here on air. Had a great time last night at Global. Ted Guinness managed to make it in for. Originally, the promoter had known about the fact that I was going to work with Strike Hard Promotions last night, and he had developed complications from a surgery. And hold on, I think we're switching systems. So let me get this over here. 3 things going on at once. Bear with me. There we go. I was on monitor 4, and he asked me if there was any way I could be in Palmerdale last night, and I went ahead and called the folks at Strike Hard, explained the circumstance. They were very understanding, and I appreciate it. I will be joining up with them again in the month of March. I believe their next show is going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. And
wait, was this the Strike Hard that was out at Zamora?
Yeah.
What was I was going to say? Was there an event at Zamora?
Yes, last night, Strike Hard 22.
Okay, fair enough. Go ahead.
Yeah, because last Sunday on Beyond Ringside, when we went sudden death and then some, or actually it was more of an Iron Man match for yours truly. David Elder, Matt Lavelle came on along with Vicky Jackson, and they brought in a number of the fighters who were scheduled to be on the Strike Hard 22 show last night, including old friend of ours, Fred Weaver. Fred Core in the house last Sunday here on BR. Eric Anders, amateur mixed martial artist who a number of Alabama Crimson Tide fans will remember from the 2009 title team. And you know, we had at one point, and you're going to love this, we had 15 lines active through our phone banks here. And I just sat back and said, holy crap. But for everybody who came on the show last week, it was absolutely tremendous on the anniversary episode. I want to say thank you to everybody who has wished the show a happy birthday, happy anniversary, as well as wished yours truly a happy birthday. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. I hate birthdays. I really do. But I'm okay with them. I've come to terms with it.
No, you don't. You enjoy them because that means people dote all the attention on you, and you're like, squee.
No, I mean, look, I can handle the spotlight when I'm actually supposed to be in it, but by the same token, I don't like to be the center of attention. I really don't. Especially in awkward moments like that. We don't like you, but you're getting older, so we're going to say something nice anyway. Well, Wicked's having trouble with his Skype. We're going to keep working with him on that one. And there is something that I was going to mention at the first part of the show. But by the way, once again, thank you to everybody who came out to Global last night. Had a blast, had a great time. Ted Guinness, going to miss you, brother. Yeah, the post-game party was a little bit more of a post-awkwardness. I think Wicked would have actually called it the cluster of goodness every once in a while, which had a tendency to almost go sour. But what I really want to mention right now, on February the 17th, as we all know, that will be the date of the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. from World Wrestling Entertainment, WWE. For our friends in the Birmingham market, our home market of Birmingham, Alabama, as well as the central Alabama area, Buffalo Wild Wings in Trussville will be showing the event. And Beyond Ringside will be live broadcasting from Buffalo Wild Wings in Trussville on February the 17th. Yours truly, Mark Bowman, I believe Wicked's going to try to make it out, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I was like, wait, is he? Because he said both of our names. I was like, is he?
Yeah, I know.
He's like talking to me.
I'm getting everybody back into the loop. I didn't know if your Skype was working. That's why I was going to go another second.
My Skype on this tablet is so screwed.
Diplomatic community.
Diplomatic community.
There you go. By the way, for the record, I do believe, Wicked, you made the promise that we were going to have a posthumous conversation with Frank Sinatra later this evening, based on what happened last night. From that vantage point, like I said, Buffalo's in Trussville, Buffalo Wild Wings in Trussville. We'll be showing the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. We will be there live broadcasting from Buffalo Wild Wings. And come early. Come hungry. Say what? Originally, the phrase is come early, come hungry. You six-wing eating, water drinking pains in the ass, go somewhere else.
I was going to say come early, come often, on her chest.
There you go.
Hey, real quick, because I know we're headed towards the top of the hour and getting ready to bring on Pro Wrestling Superstar 7, but I didn't get a chance to play it last week because, I had to leave early because I was attending a Royal Rumble party, but freaking David Bowie sent me a birthday message for you.
Oh, God.
And I forgot to play it on the air.
Play it. I dare you.
Hold on, let me pull it up. Let me pull it up in the queue. You ready?
Okay, yeah.
I got to rewind it. All right. Happy birthday to you, Eddie. Happy birthday to you, Eddie. You're 1 year older than you were last year at this time. Happy birthday to you, Eddie. Your chest hair's getting grayer all time. You're sexy and you know it, but you're old and no one likes you. Happy birthday to you, Eddie. Still too small to ride the big rides. Happy birthday to you, Eddie. You fart dust and you smell like bowling shoes.
Well, that was a hell of a message.
Well, like I said, he dropped it. He dropped it by last week, and I forgot to play it.
Damn, I hate it when that happens. It does work that way. Did he actually sit back and say, "I'm sexy and I'm sexy and I know it"?
What? No.
Then what was the line
Not
that he
David
put in
Bowie.
there? No, I
David
thought.
Bowie, he drinks all the time. You never know.
Yeah, I know, but I could have sworn David Bowie actually just said the phrase, "Eddie, you're sexy and you know it."
Well, you know it, but nobody else really knows it.
Nobody else really gives a damn, right?
Or exactly. That's right, Eddie. Get us sued.
Hey, I'm good at that.
That's right. Get us sued.
Get the feeling we need an old Chris Knox introduction there. And
What?
nothing. Wicked knows. Wicked caught it.
Chris Beefit Knox used to come out of that.
Yeah.
That's right. He did.
Yeah.
How's that big bastard doing anyway?
Man, you should have seen him last night. Did you see the Peter Gabriel, the Irish sledgehammer that he put on O'Hagan last night?
Yes, I did.
Holy crap! I laughed so hard about peed myself.
No, but I hope he did, and I hope he knocked the ever living piss out of it.
Actually, what happened is O'Hagan hit the ropes. Damon Christopher grabbed him in a bear hug, was holding him, positioned him, and I told Knox, I said, hit him. Knox said, okay. Knox hit the ropes and hit him with the Irish sledgehammer, or as we call it, the Peter Gabriel, and just took him out of his socks. Boom.
Yeah,
and O'Hagan went 2-on-1, but it was all for naught, as, of course, the Unlucky Charms were triumphant.
Yeah. We can do the 1 minute crash course real quick. Last night in Global, it was the first round of the JYD Memorial Tag Team Tournament. 2 crash references in 1 hour. Hey, or 1/2 hour. Damn, I'm doing good. there were technically 8 teams involved in last night's first round pairings. O'Hagan was supposed to be teamed up with Vernon Jake Cole. Jake Cole unfortunately took ill and was not able to make it. So O'Hagan decided he was going to be himself and take on the Unlucky Charms 2-on-1 handicap match. That really didn't work out that well for you there, buddy. So next time, you're a reasonably smart person. So I'd worry about considering the fact that you're 159 pounds and Knox is the lighter of the two at 226?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So a little bit of a difference there. So, hey, sorry about that, dude, but how you feeling today? I guess that really had to hurt. Also, speaking of, short ending of the story, there teams which advanced last night include the Unlucky Charms, Scotty Blaze and Showtime Shane Fox, Micah Taylor and Spiral, and because
Full Throttle? No,
Full Throttle got knocked out.
Spiral and Micah Taylor.
Yeah.
What about who won between Mudbone? Mudbone had a secret tag team
High
partner
Definition
last night.
Actually, there were two surprises. Number one, Mudbone's reinstatement, which was made earlier made official this week.
That was crazy. I did not see that coming.
Yeah, but from there we go on to the fact that, and we got a 414 coming in, so bear with me 1 second. We're about to go to the top of the hour break. Short version is, it was High Definition, Jeremy Foster and Cody O'Connor, which advanced last night in the first round of the JYD. Fellas, do me a favor, hang tight. We're going to commercial break. We'll be right back. You're here on Beyond Ringside. Stay tuned.
This is the 7-figure deal, Ace Rockwell. And as long as Wicked Nemesis isn't on the show, please listen. You're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Confessions of a Potentially Perfect Parent, brought to you by AdoptUsKids.org.
I don't know how to talk like a parent. Don't make me come back there. You see what I mean? It's pretty awful. Try it again. Don't make me come back there. Now that's pretty good. That one kind of sounded like my dad. Weird.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you. Call 1-888-200-4005 or visit AdoptUsKids.org for more information. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt Us Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is Ben Masters locking it down with Beyond Ringside. Don't miss it. Be there.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Yo, what's up? This Coolio with the Flow, a.k.a. the Ghetto Gourmet, and you locked in to Beyond Ringside. Ding, ding.
Remember when your neighbor found us naked in the car, and the time some outdoor action got us kicked out of the park? Getting frisky in the dark, I gave your eye a poke. I think the dog is also in the bed. Do I smell smoke, you and me? We never, ever, ever give up.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Visit bedsider.org to compare all the choices. Brought to you by Bedsider and the Ad Council. Bedsider.org.
Hello, everybody. This is Dirty Dutch Mantel, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Did you know that birthday parties help build confidence in kids?
Yeah. Did you know that giving kids less sugar before bedtime helps them sleep better?
Oh, totally. Did you know that friendly kids have more friends?
Everybody knows that.
Hey, guys, did you know that most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
I didn't know that.
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right car seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Everybody out there, this is the human hand grenade, Danny Only. 1/2 of the hate junkies, 1/5 of POD, and you are locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Packers.
Vikings.
We come from different places.
Uptown.
Downtown.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty.
Half full.
But when we live united, we make a real difference in the building blocks of life. Children succeed in school, families gain financial stability, the health of our neighbors improves, and suddenly so do our communities. Real change won't happen without you.
Live United.
So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up today at liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
This is El Professor from the Santa Clara Colony in Mexico.
and you are locked in to Beyond Ringside, yeah.
Okay, forest animals, kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow, have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. River, how's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man.
I love it. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. Okay. Squirrel.
The forest has been preparing just for you. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
This is Gabe Sapolsky from Dragon Gate USA and Evolve Pro Wrestling, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
In 50 feet, turn left. Why are you driving so slowly?
After a few drinks, I'm taking it slow.
Well, you're not fooling the cop behind you.
What?
Get ready to pay in 0.1 miles.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is Hector Camacho Jr., and you are locked in with Beyond Ringside. It's junior time.
Today, you hit the snooze bar. You checked your email. You checked your fantasy football team. You rejected an insulting trade offer. You ate your lunch. You did all the things that one normally does the day before a 175-mile-per-hour hurricane blows through your city, leaving it in a state of ruin. You never know when the day before is the day before. Prepare for tomorrow at ready.gov/today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Howard C. Cross, the Legal Eagle, and you're listening to Beyond Ringside.
Hey, Billy, want to go to the state fair?
Yeah!
Well, you can't.
Huh?
Well, you see, Billy, when you throw away money on wasted electricity, you throw away everything you could have done with it. But now your parents are becoming energy efficient. They could save hundreds of dollars a year and take you to the fair next year.
I want to go now.
Oh, I know you do. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
Hi, everybody. This is Jerry the King Lawler. That's right, the host of the #1 rated show in all of cable television, Monday Night Raw. That's right, Jerry the King Lawler, WWE Hall of Famer, Jerry the King Lawler, and I am locked into Beyond Ringside.
Welcome to today's lottery drawing. And today's winning numbers are not yours, not yours, and another number that's not yours. And the final number is not yours.
When it comes to having money, don't rely on luck. Brew your own coffee at home instead of buying that latte. Brown bag it to work instead of ordering it. Go to feedthepig.org for more free ideas on how to save. Feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
This is Kevin Kleinrock, WSX, XPW, and now Viva La Lucha, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
This year, firefighters like Fire Chief James Hall will battle wildfires around the country in hopes of containing them. But firefighters can't do it alone.
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile, where it can ignite and destroy your home and community.
Get fire adapted. Learn simple steps you can take now to reduce wildfire damage later at fireadapted.org. A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council. Learn more at fireadapted.org.
Can you tell if these vegetables are being contaminated with bacteria that could cause paralysis? Listen, you can't see it either. Use different cutting boards so that the bacteria in raw meats and seafood and their juices doesn't touch prep surfaces for other foods like veggies. Raw food may contain bacteria that can make you very sick, or worse. Roughly 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year, but you can keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov. Brought to you by the USDA, HHS, and the Ad Council.
Music plays, the microphones go hot, and we are live on a Sunday night. Welcome back in to Beyond Ringside, live from the Beyond Ringside studios. Fast Eddie Lane behind the control panel. Mark Mabo Bowman, come on back.
Yeah, it's Mark, not Matt. Matt's the other guy. Matt's the one with the accent on the other show. Get it right.
What did I say? I said Mark Mabo Bowman.
No, you Matt, Mark.
I was trying not to cough.
Sure, whatever. Why don't you go ahead and screw up the other guy's name, huh? Go ahead. Who's that? Who's the other guy?
And ladies and gentlemen, tag team partner, the Wacky Wunkle Nemesis. Wicked Nemesis.
The what? The wacky? Anyways.
I was trying not to sneeze.
Lord have mercy. It appears that Beyond Ringside just become a little bit more elite, if you will.
I may have just become possessed. I don't know. I mean, things like that do happen every once in a while. Ladies and gentlemen, would like to welcome in our very special guest at this time, professional wrestling star known as Seven. Welcome into Beyond Ringside. How you doing tonight?
I'm pretty good right now, watching the game. That's what I'm doing.
Who's your favorite in the game?
Ravens.
Okay.
I'm picking them because my team is out, the Patriots. So I got to go with the Ravens.
Yeah, I know. My Falcons lost. Therefore, I'm still going to pull for the Ravens in this regard. It's a bird thing.
That's good because the Falcons suck.
Against the Niners, unfortunately, they let it go halfway through. However, now, considering the circumstance in play, you have been a very busy person all around, especially the southeastern United States. But for those who have not had an opportunity to find out about Seven, in your words, how would you describe Seven?
How would I describe myself?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to know about me, come and watch me. That's all you need to know. You will see the deadly sin wreak havoc from the compound. You'll see the Pandora's box open. And then you'll really know and feel everything I bring.
Maybo, come on in.
Now, as Eddie touched on, he said that, you've pretty much across the Southeast, and if I've studied correctly, everything from you started your career in Nashville through Cool. Alabama, Chattanooga, and you moved on to Anarchy. What is it that you picked up from each place that, through your early in your career? Did you pick up anything? Like this. I tell everybody I started in the dungeon. I call it the Tony Falk at USWO. I picked up the work on my craft here in Nashville, Tennessee. And then I took it on the road, and I met the Reverend. And from there, the Reverend molded me and recreated me to who I am today. And I began to travel to, like you said, to the Alabamas, to the Georgias, to the West Virginias, places like that to see my craft. It's like a basketball player. In order to get good, you got to play different teams and different people, right?
Very true.
Hello? Yeah. Okay. So that's how you get better. You can't get better if you're stuck in a box in one area. You have to move around because everybody is different wherever you go.
Wicked Nemesis, come on in.
So, okay.
Now, Seven, for those that know your work, you are now part of what used to be the NWA Elite, which is now the Elite. You have a background, a full-page scholarship as a pure athlete, sir, and you are in Elite company being part of the Elite. Do you think that sometimes promoters tend to make you more of kind of just to run through anybody, and you don't really get the opponents that you deserve, sir?
Yes or no? The biggest opponent I've faced was Michael Judas. Judas, who is phenomenal and I respect. And that was like one of my biggest matches of all time. Athletic versus athletic. Athlete versus athlete, I should say. But yes or no, it depends where you go. I think my skill set is based on who or what they have in store for me. Now, you said as far as the Elite, don't forget, I will always be part of the Elite. Though I'm always a part of the Devil's Rejects as well. I am the new foundation and of the Elite.
We'll see. Really quick, Seven, you kind of went in my next, don't mean to jump on any toes, but the Devil's Rejects is what everybody seems to really have kind of discovered you being a part of. And in that, you were very sadistic, very nihilistic. I mean, you would just run through everybody and with no regard for human body, for human soul, if you will. What is the difference between the 7 we see in the Elite and the 7 that was in the Devil's Rejects? Because there is a difference, but how can you explain it, sir?
Well, let me explain it to you. There's always been the same between the Devil's Rejects and the Elite. Let's get that right, okay? It's the same. The Reverend will always hold 7. That's the guy I follow. And Jeff G. Bailey is my attorney. He's the person I go to. So if whoever wants to bring out the skill set, I will bring out. But I'm still sadistic. I'm still methodical in the Elite as well, as I was in the Devil's Rejects. You just gotta watch. You just pay attention a little closer. Pay attention this Saturday, coming up at Anarchy in Cornelia. You'll see it.
A 2-part question, if I may. When we look at the body of work we've established, every once in a while there's one that jumps out at you. On both sides of the coin, what is the one match you would like to have back and why? And number 2, what is the one opponent that you faced so far that you would like to have back in the ring?
Michael Judas. I want him back in the ring. And the match we had at Season Beatings, I believe it was 2011, was a classic. And I want to build off of that again. Have you seen it on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of it?
That's one of those cases. Yeah, I'd like to have that back for maybe about 5 more minutes of action because everything flowed.
No, hold on. Let's take this a little bit more critical. Michael Judas was a legend. You were the quote-unquote young and up-and-comer, if you will. Judas always known for his power, but also known for his mind games. You're a soulless killing machine at that time, sir. And, there is a match where we always come up a little bit short, not really taking away what we have, but you went one-on-one with a legend. Why would that be the match that you would want back? As anybody can see it on YouTube, just look up Michael Judas, and it's Mikal Judas against 7. But why would that be the match that you would take back, sir?
Because that was one of my gravest challenges, and I think we can make it epic from here on out. As a one time only. Out of all minds. And then I know you said one match, but then the second match would be versus Tank. You know who Tank is, right?
The Strong Style Psycho.
There you go. That would be match number 2. I know you said match number 1, but match number 2 would be against Tank.
Okay.
I want another collar match against him.
Heard about that match. That's one
it's
thing
on YouTube as well.
Mm-hmm. Never had a chance to see it, but I've heard about it. Mark Bowman, come on back in with 7.
Now 7. For those who have been unfortunate enough not to see you, not to see the destruction that you have laid forth in the world of professional wrestling, how would you describe yourself and what you bring to the sport to someone who's been like, well, who's 7? Tell me about him.
You really want to know who I am?
I know who you are, and personally I pee a little bit every time I think about it. But for, like I said, those who are unfortunate enough to not know.
Well, play this. For the ones that do not know, I'm pretty sure you will know now. I
come from the town of Brown. I sit on the throne in Hades. Yes, I worship the devil. And I go forth to the Reverend Dan Wilson for guidance. I have a wicked bicycle kick. I'm ferocious. And I show no mercy. If you want to, I have no friends. I have no foes. I'm myself. I'm a one-army nation. You pee in your pants. You do pee in your pants, but trust me, you ain't seen nothing yet, man. If you know your 7 deadly sins, trust me, pick out one. I'll take it out of you.
Me at lunch. Gluttony.
Now my shut up.
Gluttony.
My brother is known as a wrestling hybrid. You were pretty much known as the wrestling entity, but you've had the pleasure, sir, of being under the tutelage, as you've said, 2 of the greatest managers in the Southeast, 2 gentlemen that helped me tremendously in my career as well, Jeff G. Bailey and Reverend Dan Wilson. With all the matches that you've had under both of these gentlemen, what is the difference in each of their methods of bringing out the best in 7, bringing out the best in the Devil's Rejects, bringing out the best in the Elite, sir?
Okay. So how much know people don't understand that 7 is a brand, okay? 7 is a brand. So you have 2 coaches. Jeff G. Bailey is like Phil Jackson. Let's put it like that, okay? And the Reverend is like a Vince Lombardi. 2 different coaches, 2 different mindsets. Both are great. There you go. Both want championship glory.
Well, I guess that makes me Greg Popovich. That's perfect. Yes, sir. That's a perfect sports analogy, sir. And it's just great to see someone who has taken such knowledge and actually ran with it.
Yeah, it's you have to be like a sponge. You got to be able to be humble and be able to soak it up. But like I said, I'm a pit bull. I'm a ravenous beast. Once they take me off the chain, on the leash, I'm my own person.
If I may, you make the reference to your managers being interested in championship glory. However, you make no assimilation of you being interested in that type of glory.
Well, who am I speaking with?
This is Eddie.
Okay. Since you do not know me, possibly, let's break down 2011. Okay, let's break down the historical fact. I was the one-time NWA Southern Champion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was 2-time at that time NWA Anarchy Champion. I was multiple-time NWA Tag Champion. I was Sean Tempers and I, as the Devil Rejects, held the Ultimate NWA Tag Belts for a full year because nobody could take us down. Okay, nobody could hold us. We held those belts for a year. Do I have to keep going on credentials?
No, but actually, if I may, what I was asking, the question I wanted to lay out there, you make the reference to your managers, utilizing the idea of championship glory, but you've never really put yourself in that assimilation. Can one safely assume that based on your actions in the ring, based on the way that you've carried yourself throughout your time in professional wrestling, and some of the answers you've given here today, is that you are the type of person that would use a championship belt in order to draw better competition because you want a better fight. You want someone who will test you and push you. Am I right on that?
Yeah, correct on that. I was giving you a brief synopsis on my championship background.
Oh, no, I love it, and I appreciate it, too. There's a lot of people out there who do not know about the background that you've got in this business. And, right. I mean, if there's any additional championships you'd like to lay out there that you want to mention, please feel free.
I was PWI, first time in the PWI magazine, top 500 last year at 342. Okay? I got to keep going on. So no, you like, for example, when you do have gold, when you have that gold around your waist, you're a marked man, right? But also it brings on the best competition.
Right.
You don't get the bottom of the barrel. You get the guys at the top, like the Michael Judases, or at that time the Phil Shannon, which is TNA, Gunner TNA.
Right.
People like that. You get the Tanks. You get the Corey Hollises. You get people like that.
Right. I remember Phil Shatter has been with us on Beyond Ringside before, and I believe he held the NWA National Heavyweight Championship for somewhere in the neighborhood of 14 months, if my notes were right. Or longer than that, actually.
That's the belt I want. Whoever's listening to this interview, I know somebody's listening. That's what I want. And I will go anywhere to get it.
Different people hold themselves to different standards. Is there anything that you won't do in order to attain your goals?
And I won't do?
Yeah.
I won't do some of the stupid stuff you see, because it's not worth it. I won't go on no barbed wire. I'm not doing light bulbs. I'll do tables and ladders, yes. I'm not going to do anything that's going to mess me up for a belt. That's stupid. Now, that's just me, okay?
I lost you. Say that last one again.
That's just me talking. That's just my personal opinion.
Okay. Maybe.
But if that belt is in freaking Timbuktu, I will go to Timbuktu and get it.
And they better give you trans.
I want it. Huh?
And they better give you trans on top of the ticket.
You give me trans, give me food, and give me a gym. That's all I want.
Mabo, come on back.
Now, looking ahead, I mean, no one really gets in this business to just stay on the local scene as far as pro wrestling goes. They always look to TNA. They always look to the WWE, especially. Some people even look all the way to Japan. In your future, which one are you focusing on, and which one do you see yourself in? And if so, what words do you have for them?
I'll answer this very proactively. Okay?
Okay.
Whoever bites the bait, that's where I'm going. So let your mind wander on that, grab some popcorn, and enjoy the show.
Wicked Nemesis.
For those that may or may not know, it is on record that you have an IQ of 170. You were all Big Ten diving, all Big Ten track. You were undefeated wrestling and powerlifting in high school, sir. I know you were also in what are considered one of the top 10 of powerlifting in this art, this business, this sport of professional wrestling, sir. Where do you see yourself with everything that you've accomplished? I mean, just in these years and what you did in high school, what you did in college, sir. Where do you see yourself this year?
Where do I see myself this year? As far as what, like going?
I mean, you've done so much so far besides being on quote unquote national TV. I mean, do you consider yourself? Is that your next stop? I mean,
that's my next goal.
The sky's the limit with you, sir. Okay.
That's my next goal. That's my next goal, and I know what to do to get there, and it's based on hard work and determination and perseverance. But that's my next goal.
You've made a
2013.
Go ahead.
2013 has started off great so far. Like I stated, sit back, relax, and grab some popcorn and enjoy the show, because it's about to get even better.
You've made the reference to a couple of different areas and a couple of different promotions. Now, off air, we had a chance to speak a little bit about an upcoming event over in the Peach State of Georgia. Can I ask you to touch on that one?
Well, yes. The this Saturday will be Anarchy's event in Cornelia, Georgia. The Elite, which I am in, that will have UAS, which is Urban Assault Squad, which will have Sean Tempers, obviously Jeff G. Bailey leading the charge as the general custard he is, versus Anarchy, Team Anarchy, I should say. That will be, you'll have Billy Buck, you'll have Brian Casanova, you'll have, and others in that core group. And then also in the Elite, we acquired Big Jeter. I don't know if you know who he is, but that man's a mountain of a man, which makes my work even easier.
Oh, yeah.
This Saturday in Cornelia, Georgia, 8 p.m., it's going down. The roof is going to go up, and the building's about to fall down.
That's going to be at 4236 Level Grove Road in Cornelia, Georgia. Anarchy Wrestling. Tickets are $10 a piece. From that vantage point, there are you can actually find out more and reserve seats through Anarchy's website.
Correct.
Mabo, come on back.
Other countries, where would you like to compete?
Other countries?
Yes.
All of them. I want to go to Japan. I want to go to Africa. I want to go to Canada. I want to go to Africa. I want to go to Australia. I'll go wherever I can. I want to go everywhere, all over. I want to go to Mexico. I want to go to Australia. I want to go to the UK. Everywhere. I'm not sure. I just want to get my face out there, be seen, and let the world know who I am. And once the world knows, then everybody will know.
Wicked Nemesis, one more round with 7.
Sir, I've known you for 5 years. I've seen you come up, and you're not. I know. We're old. We're old. Shut up. That's not my question, sir. One thing I've always wanted to ask you now, and I've always wanted the eye.
You told me to shut up.
Where does the eye come from, sir? What happened to your eye? Your discolored eye. Yes, sir.
That's how I was born. It was through birth.
I'm sorry. No offense, sir. I do apologize.
When you're possessed with certain things, you heard of karma before, right?
Mm-hmm.
It always comes back and bites you. So I was possessed, and when I told you, and I'm serious about worshiping the underground, the dark side, and I do walk on hot coals. So the eye, back to your question, came from birth.
Now, on a wonderful little thing called the World Wide Web, how can everybody keep track of you? Is there a way?
Oh, there's plenty of ways. Are you following me? Was asked that question.
Actually, it's SE number 7 ENNWA over on Twitter.
There we go. And then you have Facebook, right?
Yes, I do.
You go, www.facebook.com/7. That's SE the number 7 EN the deadly sin SIN. Okay. You can follow me on there and on Twitter to get all your news, updates, and workout facts. And then if anybody's into working out and you want to be like 7, check me out at my challenge, the Body by V Challenge, at www.myvi.net/team7 SE the number 7 EN.
Do me a favor, give us that address one more time.
Okay. www.myvi.net/team7 TEAM 7 SE7EN.
Just wanted to make sure people could hear it. Like I said, if they don't always get it the first time, they don't think about dragging the little cursor back. So that's why I wanted to get you to say it a second time.
It'll be posted on my Twitter and Facebook page as well.
Coolness. Definitely appreciated too. Any other additional appearances you'd like to lay out there that you call right off the top of your head?
Not as of right now, off the top of my head. Just follow me on Twitter or Facebook. You'll have up-to-date where I will be at as far as shows for the month of February and going into March.
Okay.
I usually keep it updated.
Very cool.
Well, my team does. I don't touch. My team takes care of that. So, and then also you have the the gut check challenges. And you promote that as well.
If you'd like to.
Yeah, promote the gut check challenge. You go to impactwrestling.com/gut check challenge and go to bracket number 2. You'll find me.
Excellent. The door, if I may, is always open. Anytime you'd like to come back on and join us, you're definitely more than welcome. Also, if you've got upcoming appearances, just let us know. We'll help you get them out there.
I shall.
Ladies and gentlemen, our very special guest at this time, 7, has just gone Beyond Ringside, and we will be back right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Stay tuned.
Hey, this is Fred Core Weaver. You listen to Beyond Ringside.
Are ye plagued by foreclosure? Well, here at Jim Ladd and Matey, we can stop your foreclosure now. We're a mortgage rescue company, and for the small fee of everything you hold dear, we will negotiate with your lender on your behalf. Call Jim Ladd and Matey at 1-800-YAR-YAR. That's 1-800-YAR. YAR.
If you're facing foreclosure, talk to the right people. Speak with HUD-approved housing counselors free of charge at 888-995-HOPE. Brought to you by NeighborWorks America and the Ad Council.
This is your boy, Miggity Mabo, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Drop School Day students community. High 7 the classroom, 1,000 America attendance. Quit variety they have reasons. Job like to get. Baby raiser. Relative help an elderly. Happening local on it's a level. Catastrophe, it's a national.
7,000 high school students drop out every school day. It doesn't make sense to us either. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Al Roker. Let me tell you what's happening in your neck of the woods. Right now, 1 in 6 Americans don't know where their next meal is coming from. These are our neighbors, friends, our co-workers, but we can do something about it. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find the local food bank in your community. I'm Al Roker, and together, we're Feeding America.
A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.
In the wake of a disaster, what one thing can you send that will help people the most? A blanket, a tent, a sandbag, a doctor. Actually, if you send a monetary donation, you send all these things. Even a small donation can make a big impact and can quickly become exactly what people affected by disaster need most.
Want to help those affected by Hurricane Sandy? To donate, visit sandy.adcouncil.org. That's sandy.adcouncil.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Science Today. And the next caller is 9-year-old Philip.
Hi, well I know the molecular formula for glucose, C6H12O6, and the general formula for an alkene is CnH2n plus 2, but I can't seem to find any scientific formula for Bob.
Bob?
My goldfish.
Are you ready for kids who eat healthy? Good nutrition can lead to great things. To find out how a healthy lifestyle can help your child succeed, go to mypyramid.gov. Brought to you by the Ad Council and USDA.
So, I'm a dog, and I just got adopted by this new human guy, and I'm starting to wonder how he got along without me. I mean, okay, something as simple as walking around the block. He's got this leash thing, and he puts me on one end and him on the other, and I'm just taking him around. I think he's afraid of getting lost. Without that leash and me guiding him along, I don't think he'd find his way back home. But it's kind of cute.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Hi, this is Carl Edwards here for RAD, the entertainment industry's voice for road safety. You want to make a difference? It's simple. Be responsible. Plan ahead. Designate before you celebrate. Friends don't let friends drive drunk.
Baby, you can drive my car. Yes, I'm gonna be a star.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Let me drive. How do you know when it's time to give up the keys? When your dog grabs your keys from your lap and your lap is on the floor. Yep, it's Jeff Foxworthy for RAD saying, when you party, be sure to designate before you celebrate.
If you wanna make it home alive, let me drive.
A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Just please don't drink and drive. It's not fun.
The full moon lights the silver rails winding around dark mountains and over steep gorges of jagged rock and one freezing cold rushing black mountain river. I wish there was enough time to describe all of the funny twists and turns that led up to now, but there isn't enough time because there's a ticking clock and the two passengers we care most about don't know anything about it. To see what happens next, visit read.gov to read The Exquisite Corpse, a riveting adventure pieced together by John Shuska, Shannon Hale, Daniel Handler, and other popular authors. Explore new worlds. Read. Brought to you by the Library of Congress and the Ad Council.
I don't recycle. I mean, we can just find another planet for your kids to live on, you know?
Noted non-recycler Tommy Crenshaw talks about the future.
Oh, I can totally see finding another planet that can support life when ours fills up with trash.
Log on to yougottabekidding.org and learn about all the ways you can recycle, unless you're into lame excuses like Tommy's.
Hey, recycling's just not my thing. Starting over on a new planet? Now that's exciting.
Don't be that guy, unless you want people looking at you funny. Log on to yougottabekidding.org.
I don't believe it. My savings are gone. They're gone.
You're kidding.
Nope, they're gone. They're gone.
Okay, all right. Think about it. Where did you have them last?
I remember I was home, then I took them, and then I spent them on that vacation to Aruba. Then I bought this miniature suit of armor I saw in the in-flight magazine.
And that's the last you saw of your savings?
Yes.
This is so weird.
I know, right?
Weird? Not really. Not saving now means no money later. You'd be surprised how quickly a little money from every paycheck can really add up. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free ideas and easy ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
The armor is cool, though. Oops. I think I broke its gauntlet.
You broke my favorite part.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Engines.
Check.
Thrusters.
Check.
Fuel.
Check.
Computers.
Check.
Social Security.
No check, go direct.
That's right, Patty. A few weeks ago, I went online to godirect.org to sign up for direct deposit. It's easy to do, and I got my cash at warp speed.
Wow, it's fast and easy. I'll sign up right now to make sure I'm prepared for our next mission.
I started going cold turkey. Well, at least when I'm in the car.
I know I shouldn't do it, but it's so hard to stop. That's why I hide it from myself, so I won't be tempted.
I used to do it all the time. I stopped by locking it in my glove compartment.
My friend used to do it way too much. Now I turn it off when we're in the car.
My solution is simple. I just don't do it.
There are lots of ways to stop yourself and others from texting and driving. How will you stop? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is Angel Orsini.
This is the Human Hand Grenade, Danny Only.
This is Dirty Dutch Mantel.
This is Liz Savage.
This is Vinny O'Brien, 2010 Golden Glove champion. This is Gabe Sapolsky from Dragon Gate USA and Evolve Pro Wrestling, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Welcome to the original Rocket.
With video games, I always check the rating.
17 minutes before the top of the hour, actually 16 to be exact. Welcome back to the show. Fast Eddie Lane, Mark Mabo Bowman, Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis. Want to give a very special thank you to Seven for joining us here on Beyond Ringside. Professional wrestling star Terry the Rocker Lawler scheduled to join us in about 16 minutes right here on the show. And, you know, for those who've had a chance to catch up over on the full-time radio station located at Beyond Ringside, we've had some great interviews that we have done away from the Sunday night show and that are actually in rotation right now. Matter of fact, we've got some great interviews coming up in the very near future that are actually going to be exclusive to the podcast as well as the full-time 24 station, Beyond Ringside Radio. So
Eddie,
yes.
You want to go ahead and give him a little tease who we've got coming up tomorrow? Or Tuesday,
actually, Tuesday, that is, right?
Huh?
You mean who we've got coming up Tuesday?
Well, this coming Tuesday, we're not going to give it away. If you want to know, then you're going to have to search for the truth, because the truth is out there. And I don't mean, when I say the truth, I don't really mean Ron Killings. But let's just say that the gentleman we are going to be interviewing Tuesday night has a close connection to someone who we've recently interviewed. And I mean recently.
Nice tease.
And
And
crickets.
Okay, no, I didn't know how far you were going to go on it.
Well, I don't want to give it away, Silly Willy.
Well, actually, Silly Willy, we've got two that we're doing cutting this coming Tuesday night. One who is
you are.
Well, yeah, the Tuesday night conversation, and actually, I'm working on a few of those for the next couple of weeks. A lot of people know, and actually, I just got my schedule for baseball season, so we're going to have a few opportunities to do these on Tuesday nights because my schedule on Tuesdays is a lot lighter than it was last year.
Eddie, did I lock in somebody for next Sunday?
Believe you did.
Oh crap! Let me go figure out who that is. Anyway, my little stud muffins. While I'm thinking about it, we had spoke about earlier National Pro Wrestling Day. Wicked, by the way, happy belated National Pro Wrestling Day to you, sir. Eddie, you don't matter.
I know.
But you had said something about results, or as people further south say, results.
There you go.
All I have is I have the afternoon card in front of me. So just a quick rundown. ROH was represented by the Briscoes versus Scum. The Briscoes won. Representing Wrestling is Fun was Saturnine versus the gentleman that joined us last week. Eddie, what's his name?
Juan Francisco de Coronado.
And Saturnine won. She's won that one. Vic Delicious and Ben Ortiz versus Tommy Dreamer and Hale Collins. Now, this was a special presentation by the House of Hardcore. The team of Dreamer and Collins won. Ethan Page versus Josh Alexander from Absolute Intense Wrestling. We've had talks with them, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Josh Alexander won. Sorry, but with everybody doing the Super Bowl, the internets are running slow.
Yeah, I know. I've been trying for 30 minutes to pull up Gmail. Mark Grayson sent over the Georgia Wrestling Report, and I have not been able to download it. So hopefully, I'll be able to get it downloaded by 6 after the either in the next couple of minutes or over to after the next interview.
Continuing on the afternoon card, Eric Royal and the Chiva Kid, one of my personal favorites. Took on Rick Converse and Trevor Lee for CWF Mid-Atlantic, and Chiva Kid and Eric Royale walk away. The Bulldozer, Matt Tremont.
Do me a favor.
Huh?
Real quick, you mentioned CWF Mid-Atlantic. Want to say a very special hello to a good friend of ours here on Beyond Ringside, to Brad Stutzy. Hoping to have you back on in the very near future. Continue.
Well, all righty then. The Bulldozer, Matt Tremont, took on the Latin Dragon, and who also took on Rory Mondo. They represented Combat Zone Wrestling. Matt Tremont, the Bulldozer, walked away with the victory. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Matt Tremont will be down this way in March.
Matter of fact, yes, he will.
For IWA Deep South. We hope to have more on that as it comes available to us.
Matter of fact, we are going to have the owner of IWA Deep South, Kevin Brannon, here on Beyond Ringside in upcoming days.
So that means that everybody make sure you drink a lot of Red Bull if you want to make it through that interview.
Yeah.
A match I would have loved to have seen. I would have liked to have seen the whole show, both the evening and the afternoon, outings. But wrestling is art. They presented Colt Cabana versus Mike Quackenbush, and you know that had to be not only a wrestling attraction, but it also had to have chuckles, laughs, and silliness abound. Colt Cabana won, and Bill Apter, who I have been in talks with, Wonderful Willie Apter from the Pro Wrestling Illustrated days. He came out and presented Colt Cabana with an award for being the ambassador to independent pro wrestling. Beyond Wrestling, their giving for the card was Sugar Dunkerton, very good friend of ours, and Aaron Epic versus Eric Corvus and Chris Dickinson. Sugar and his buddy won. And of course, why wouldn't he? Is the chocolate ice cream dream.
There you go.
And a guy who never returns emails. So suck it, Sugar. Now normally the Rey de Voladores tournament is a Chikara owned and operated event. Well, Pro Wrestling Illustrated decided to sponsor it. And in the first round, we had, or the first matchings, we had Too Cold Scorpio. Can't believe that guy's still alive. Jojo Bravo, Johnny Bravo's little brother, Oliver Grimsley, and Shane Hollister. No relation to Corey. Pretty much Too Cold won, moved on to the finals. Kaiju Big Battle. Oh, Kaiju. And Loudon Gavin. American Beetle and Neo Teppan, of course, took on Dr. Cuban's segment. Don't know what happened because the guy was too much of a douche to put any results up. Oh, wait, hold on. American Beatles team won. Literally, they get 2 sentences. You know what? Mr. Guy Man, who writes for PWIinsider.com, whatever it is, suck it, all right? Show respect to Kaiju, you douchebag. Wrestling is Respect. Another guy who's been on the show with us, Drew Gulak.
Right.
Took on Francis O'Rourke. And, of course, the Gulak attack was in full effect.
Actually, if you want to go there, remember you made a reference to Combat Zone Wrestling. We've had DJ Hyde with Combat Zone Wrestling on with us on 3 different occasions.
But was he involved in this show? No.
On that particular show, no. But if you mention the company, hey.
I mentioned the people who were with us. In the other opening round of Rey de Voladores, to make fun of Eddie, Bolt Brady versus ACH versus Lucas Sharp versus Surfer Mitch. Yeah, I'm going to need you to work on your ring name, Surfer Mitch. ACH walked away. He moves on to the finals.
If Surfer Mitch had a female counterpart, what would her name be?
Surfer Susie?
Oh, you missed the obvious one.
No, I didn't. I just didn't want to say it.
There you go. Surprised Wicked didn't.
Well, Wicked's his own man. He can think for himself. He doesn't need you feeding lines.
Plus, he's not on the line.
In the finals, it will be of the Rey de Voladores will be Scorpio versus ACH. So, just from what I've read, all the the results for the matches themselves and all the feedback that we've gotten from all our constituents that when I basically bug them and go, hey, how was it? Hey, how was it? Or as it goes. The afternoon of card alone was just ridiculously awesome. Like, wow. I mean, if Smart Mark Video, who sponsored the iPay-per-view part of it,
right,
if they put this out on DVD, oh, it's a must buy. Normally I say stuff like King of Trios, must buy. CZW, their usual annual outing, it's a must buy. This, I would say buy it. This, and this is, I haven't even seen it, and I would just go ahead and say buy it. Buy the shirt. And keep in mind, that's only one half of the card, of the full card, I should say.
Right.
Because we know, Eddie.
Yes.
Who is wrestling later on the evening card?
Who wrestled yesterday on the evening card?
Yes. Oh, you know who it is. They represented Wrestling is Awesome. They took on Devastation Corporation with their tag team partner Proud Oak.
I don't have my notes in front of me. You have me at a disadvantage.
I always have you at a disadvantage.
Only when I try to think.
Well, Eddie, Thunder Frog was definitely there last night. He was there, and honestly, he was more over than Wicked Nemesis at a Mohawk convention.
Oh, hell. Actually, Wicked cut his Mohawk down a little bit last night.
The hell you say?
The hell I didn't say.
Oh, Wicked.
What can you say?
I can say that this segment's gone down the toilet.
What the hell, it happens sometimes. We tried too hard to cover the results, and we didn't have them all directly in front of us.
Well, I'm not the one that should be covering them, Mr. Baseball Announcer Radio Man.
You make fun of me when I do the crap.
When I talk, people go to sleep. The only time they wake up is when I reference pooping or homosexuality.
And that's when they laugh their asses off, yes.
Yes, and then I have nothing to do with either one, so.
Horseshit.
Oh, by the way, y'all didn't know this. John Cena has added a 6th move of doom.
I thought he already added that, leaving the ring.
No. He was teasing with it. The 6th move of doom, and only one person is going to get this joke, but I'm going to do it anyway. 6th move of doom, rape a puppy.
Mark Bowman, last call.
That was my last call. Seriously, shoulder block. You know, he does that spinning back body drop thing, picks you up, hits you with the attitude adjustment. He puts while you're laying there unconscious, he puts a puppy on top of you and he rapes the puppy. John Cena's new move. John Cena rapes puppies.
That's really bad.
That's all I got.
That's really bad.
I'm serious, dude. John Cena rapes puppies.
Well, first off, for everybody who made it down to the Raw House show this evening in Birmingham, Alabama, thank you for representing the Magic City of Birmingham, Alabama, and the surrounding metropolitan area. To everybody who made it out for GCW last night, thank you for coming. Greatly appreciated. We've got some great events that we're finding out about. You know, Seven, absolutely incredible on the interview, and looking forward to, if I had, now for those over in the Peach State of Georgia, if you get the opportunity, next Saturday night, February the 9th, in 4236 Level Grove Road in Cornelia, Georgia, the Church of Southern Wrestling, and that would be Anarchy Wrestling. I do believe the website is anarchy-wrestling.net. Was hoping Wicked would be able to stick back to cover upcoming appearances. You can, and like I said, in about 4 minutes we're going to be going to the top of the hour in about 4 minutes, and when we come back, we're scheduled to be joined by Terry the Rocker Lawler. As, of course, great to hear from Terry. He's been on with us before, and we get the opportunity to find out about A Nightmare to Remember 3, the Nightmare Ted Allen Tribute Show. Looking forward to hearing from that. Always great to catch up with Terry. I have a chance to speak with him on Facebook every once in a while. Now, you were actually going to debut a new segment this week, and it's going to end up being next week. So we're going to wait till next week before we tell everybody about it, right?
But do you want to give him a little? We're not going to give him the title. We don't want to give it away. But Eddie, if you would like to hit the music,
okie dokie.
I will be more than glad.
Let me lean over here.
It's just a little soup song, if you will.
Okay, right there. There.
Nonsensical word. Area code for San Diego.
That would be Booyaka 619.
That's right. Now, what will that lead to? Who knows? Tune in next week when you will hear Dr. Bob say,
I think I left my scalpel up her anus. That would have been you taking over the segment.
Well, the segment's over with.
There you go.
And why am I looking at an action figure of Darren Young's crotch?
Okay, even I can't come back on that one.
No, I mean, I'm just looking at the new action figures coming out, and the Darren Young Titus O'Neil 2-pack is actually should be hitting stores soon, but for some reason, WrestlingFigures.com chose to zoom in specifically on the action figures packageable area, to where you could see where it says D Young, and then on the back, on his butt, it actually says in a little star, it says no days off.
Funny.
I know. I mean, hey, I'll give it to this, Mattel. Frickin' great attention to detail. Did I need to see Darren Young's crotch, real life or action figure wise?
No.
No. And there's also going to be a Team Hell No pack. But unfortunately, and it comes with a kendo stick for some reason. But they haven't got the awesomeness of D-Bry's beard. Can I say, have I mentioned just how ugly Glenn Jacobs is? I normally don't go calling out shoot names or whatever you want to say. I normally don't do that, but
okay.
Sweet Jesus, that man is ugly. Like oh my God, scared me. Whew. Sorry, frightened me a little bit.
You worry me sometimes, Bowman.
Oh my God, you guys want to see something funny? Oh crap! All right, everybody, don't listen to Eddie. He usually doesn't say anything funny anyway. Go to Lords of Pain, whatever, and look up. Just look for the little headline that talks about Eve Torres, former diva Eve Torres gets a new look, and go look at it, and you'll see what she looks like without her weave.
That I'm afraid of.
Out.
That I'm afraid of.
All right. Well, don't we got something to do?
Yeah, we're going to the top of the hour break.
All right, well, let's do that. Have you found the thing you needed to find?
And when we come back, folks, we're going to be joined by professional wrestling star Terry the Rocker Lawler right here on Beyond Ringside.
This is the seven-figure deal Ace Rockwell. And as long as Wicked Nemesis isn't on the show, please listen. You're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Confessions of a Potentially Perfect Parent, brought to you by AdoptUsKids.org.
I don't know how to talk like a parent. Don't make me come back there. You see what I mean? It's pretty awful. Try it again. Don't make me come back there. Now that's pretty good. That one kind of sounded like my dad. Weird.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you. Call 1-888-200-4005 or visit AdoptUsKids.org for more information. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt Us Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is Ben Masters locking it down with Beyond Ringside. Don't miss it. Be there.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Yo, what's up? This Coolio with the Flow, a.k.a. the Ghetto Gourmet, and you locked in to Beyond Ringside. Ding, ding.
Remember when your neighbor found us naked in the car, and the time some outdoor action got us kicked out of the park? Getting frisky in the dark, I gave your eye a poke. I think the dog is also in the bed. Do I smell smoke, you and me? We never, ever, ever give up.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Visit bedsider.org to compare all the choices. Brought to you by Bedsider and the Ad Council. Bedsider.org.
Hello, everybody. This is Dirty Dutch Mantel, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Did you know that birthday parties help build confidence in kids?
Yeah. Did you know that giving kids less sugar before bedtime helps them sleep better?
Oh, totally. Did you know that friendly kids have more friends?
Everybody knows that.
Hey, guys, did you know that most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
I didn't know that.
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right car seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Everybody out there, this is the human hand grenade, Danny Only. 1/2 of the hate junkies. 1/5 of POD. And you are locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Packers.
Vikings. We come from different places.
Uptown.
Downtown. We come to different conclusions.
Half empty.
Half full. But when we live united, we make a real difference in the building blocks of life. Children succeed in school, families gain financial stability, the health of our neighbors improves, and suddenly so do our communities. Real change won't happen without you.
Live united.
So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up today at liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
This is El Professor from the Santa Clara Colony in Mexico. And you are locked in to Beyond Ringside, yes.
Okay, forest animals, kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow, have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. River, how's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man.
I love it. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. Okay. Squirrel.
The forest has been preparing just for you. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
This is Gabe Sapolsky from Dragon Gate USA and Evolve Pro Wrestling, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
In 50 feet, turn left. Why are you driving so slowly?
After a few drinks, I'm taking it slow.
Well, you're not fooling the cop behind you.
What?
Get ready to pay in 0.1 miles.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is Hector Camacho Jr., and you are locked in with Beyond Ringside. It's cheers on.
Today, you hit the snooze bar. You checked your email. You checked your fantasy football team. You rejected an insulting trade offer. You ate your lunch. You did all the things that one normally does the day before a 175-mile-per-hour hurricane blows through your city, leaving it in a state of ruin. You never know when the day before is the day before. Prepare for tomorrow at ready.gov/today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Howard C. Cross, the Legal Eagle, and you're listening to Beyond Ringside.
Hey, Billy, want to go to the state fair?
Yeah!
Well, you can't.
Huh?
Well, you see, Billy, when you throw away money on wasted electricity, you throw away everything you could have done with it. But now your parents are becoming energy efficient. They could save hundreds of dollars a year and take you to the fair next year.
I want to go now.
I know you do. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
Hi, everybody. This is Jerry the King Lawler. That's right, the host of the #1 rated show in all of cable television, Monday Night Raw. That's right, Jerry the King Lawler, WWE Hall of Famer, Jerry the King Lawler, and I am locked into Beyond Ringside.
Welcome to today's lottery drawing. And today's winning numbers are not yours, not yours, and another number that's not yours. And the final number is not yours.
When it comes to having money, don't rely on luck. Brew your own coffee at home instead of buying that latte. Brown bag it to work instead of ordering it. Go to feedthepig.org for more free ideas on how to save. Feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Beyond Ringside. Fast Eddie Lane behind the control panel. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday night thing. Going at 6 minutes after the top of the hour. Go Ravens. Go Ravens, go Ravens, go Ravens. I was getting an update from a good friend, and he let me know that it was pretty much turning into a situation where we may be seeing a replay of the national championship game, which, in my humble opinion, I'm an Alabama fan, have been the majority of my life. I just felt bad for Notre Dame, kind of like I'm feeling bad for San Francisco, because after they beat my Falcons, I was at least hoping they'd make it respectable. But other than that, they're almost turning it into the Ravens are almost turning it into a nightmare for the 49ers. And that is probably one of the worst puns that I will ever throw out there and try to make a segue transition and set up. But I would like to welcome in a very good friend of the show, Terry the Rocker Lawler. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Hey, man, I'll give you A for effort. That was pretty smooth on tying in the nightmare to the Ravens, and I appreciate y'all guys always supporting us on our events. And yes, the 49ers are not looking too good right now.
Yeah,
the halftime show's probably looking better than the 49ers are right now.
Yeah, I'm going to change the numbers from 49ers to the San Francisco 68ers. They're letting Baltimore do them, and they'll owe them one. However, first off, I watch, I pay attention, and you are all over the place all over again. Is there a city in the southeastern U.S. that you have not worked in the last calendar year?
It's weird. My brother is retiring at the Nightmare to Remember 3 at February 16th in Bay Springs Middle Schools in Little Rica. He and I, we did a double shot last night. We finished up in Covington, and that's the last time I get tagged up with my brother. It was kind of emotional, sad, and happy at the same time. But prior to that, we was in Porterdale, Georgia. Only time I said, I don't ever remember wrestling in Porterdale, Georgia, so I have checked that off my list. And then we was on the road, and Porterdale, Georgia has a lot of history of the old school wrestling as far as title changes happened in Porterdale. Right. It was a small city, but I never wrestled until last night, so it was cool. Just check on my list, but there's probably a few cities and towns in the southeast I've never been to or never heard of, but I've tried to stay busy, try to stay active, and as long as I'm having fun, that's the name of the game for me nowadays.
Now, let me ask a question. Now, you and Steve, did y'all break in at the same time?
There's about 4.5, 5 years difference gap between us. He started training, was on the road, and actually it was fun because he would check me out of school and take me on the road with him on the weekend trips, and that's where we made good friends with Grady Odom from George Simpson Wrestling, Ben Masters. I got to rub shoulders and just grew up watching my TV heroes of Fast and 2, Bruce Brody, Abdul the Butcher, Jerry Blackwell. The list is so long.
Yeah.
But I give everything that I've learned started with my brother. And just being in the locker room with a lot of these guys, I've learned to, try to be a better business person in and out of the ring.
A question that different people have different answers to. When we were coming up, and, for me personally, I started training in 84, first match in 85, but I was a fan of it long before that. And a lot of fans nowadays, as they develop a little bit more time and they're watching the national television shows, I won't say national promotions, I'll just say the television shows, they get curious and they find out through YouTube, Daily Motion, some of the video sites about the legends in this business and where they started, the areas that they worked in, and I'll dare say the word territories they worked in. If there was one person right off the top of your head, if a kid comes up to you and says, I was watching this show the other day, or I was watching John Cena the other day, and if you were to come back and say, well, you really need to get on YouTube and do some looking for this person, who would you pick?
Well, do a little name dropping. John Cena, refer back because I was actually hanging out with Robert Gibson the other night. We did a show together, and he said that John Cena said because of the Rock and Roll Express is the reason that he is a pro wrestler. And I would never have saw that coming stuff. There's a lot of good guys. The Horseman comes to mind. Rock and Roll Express, and I have to give my all-time favorite. The reason I'm a pro wrestler is because of wrestling number 2. Anything that came out of the Georgia Championship Wrestling or the Florida Championship Wrestling era, I would recommend just research as much as I can, because you had the Grahams, you had the Andersons, and between those two territories alone, there was so many legends and names that I would disrespect someone by not mentioning them, so I prefer not to. But those two territories was the best it came out of, in my opinion.
Now, you're making a reference to tagging with your brother one more time.
Yes, sir.
One of our tag team partners here on Beyond Ringside, Mark Bowman, is given credit for the question alongside of Wicked Nemesis. And we asked it this past Wednesday on another show. The state of tag team wrestling across the country and around the world right now, whether it be on the national promotions or in the indies or, the regional promotions. How would you assess tag team wrestling right now on all levels, local and national?
Well, in my opinion, there is so many great tag teams in the past and the present that is not getting their credit, because there's so many people who want the spotlight put on them. Your World Heavyweight Champions, your Intercontinental Champions, everybody is a single wrestler, but tag team, I don't know, is I learned a lot of what I know now through tag team, because it was like on-the-job training. You watch your partner, you watch your opponent, you watch your opponent's partner, and you can learn so much through tag team action that it just doesn't get the pop used to stuff. And my heart has always been watching tag teams, because it just, one, you get 4 guys who are top of their game, all in one ring, taking turns. It's just precision, and you can put 2 single guys together stuff, but the precision is not there as much as a tag team. That's just the way I feel about it.
Speaking of tag teams, I was looking over some of the names that will be on A Nightmare to Remember 3 on Saturday, February the 16th in Villa Rica, Georgia at the Bay Springs Middle School Gym, 122 Bay Springs Road. By the way, friends, doors are going to open around 6 p.m., showtime scheduled for approximately 7 o'clock p.m. I always say that because anything can happen, especially in the world of professional wrestling. But there are 2 names that jump out at me right off the top of my head as far as tag teams go. Number 1, Thunderbolt Patterson. Now, Thunderbolt, of course, in the Georgia area and southeastern United States, I should say, very well known for the tag team that he had with Tommy Wildfire Rich, and I do believe as well as with Mr. Wrestling number 2. And the other one who jumps out even more so is Randy Rose, one half and or 1/3 of the original Midnight Express, alongside of Dennis Condrey and later on Norvell Austin. Or actually, Norvell came with him in the southeastern era, and then when they moved over to before the split up in other areas of the southeast, it was Dennis and Randy before everything happened with Jim Cornette in the Mid-South area. And that's one thing. You look nowadays, and tag team wrestling, and the Nightmare Ted Allen, of course, one of the members of the Nightmares, because people know Ted, people know Ken, people know Danny, and I believe Alan Martin sat in with him a couple of times between that stint and him being one of the Rock and Roll RPMs. A good friend of ours here on Beyond Ringside, a longtime friend of mine. You've got a couple of names on this card that were in the southeastern territory at or around the time that I started training. And I'm just sitting back going, this is too cool. And if you will, for those who are still not familiar, because new people find out about different things every day. And we have a lot of people who are in the southeastern U.S. who may not know about this show. Tell everybody a little bit about it, if you would, please, Terry.
Well, yeah, just to play up what you said about, the Nightmares, there's some hidden gems along in the latest part of stuff. My brother at one time had played the role of a Nightmare at a couple of shows. He'd been in Festus, which was also Billy Starr. When they were pioneering the Deep South, he was Nightmare number 2, along with Ted Allen. And Jimmy Powell was also a Nightmare. Through a brief history step between the crossover between Deep South Texas Wrestling under Joey Hampton to Southern Championship Wrestling via Jerry Blackwell. So there's just, throughout those legends alone, there's, the Nightmares cover such a wide variety of people. So, but the basis of this whole show started out with, and it has always been, focusing on our good friend Ted Allen, the Nightmare. He trains such legends as Ranger Ross, who's also there. He trained Arn Anderson, the Big Boss Man, Scotty Riggs. I mean, it's such a long list. When he passed away suddenly, when the powers of be, whoever came up, we decided that we need to honor Ted for his actions and for his contribution to this business. And Ted was so influential to the younger generations of wanting to take time out to help the next generations and beyond that, to make everybody to be a better wrestler, to keep this sport alive. And from the first show to the second show to the current show, the focus has always been, keeping his memory alive. And everybody that's on this list, if you look at it or find a picture of the poster or stuff and read all these names off, you're looking at 70-plus wrestlers. Everybody has donated their time, their talent, their name to this cause. Nobody's taken a single penny from the show other than what they make off their gimmicks of pictures, T-shirts, whatever they're selling. And every bit of this money goes down to the Gulf Coast Wrestler Reunion down in Mobile, care of the Ted Allen Sunshine Fund, which, to me, to even be involved with the show, to have all these names and all these local guys and regional guys to come out and support this. Even, George South has quoted his favorite show of the whole year is nothing but total respect for Ted Allen, and it just shows the true meaning of brotherhood in the sport.
Now, I remember George South from back when he was doing a lot of work with WCW World Championship Wrestling, NWA television under the Crockett era. And, I had a lot of friends who went to work over in there who worked as, I'll just use the phrase, enhancement talent. Good friends of ours here on the show, such as Alan Martin, good personal friends of mine like Lightning Lee Peak, Dwayne Phillips, Bill Tabb, MJ, Mike Jackson, a whole list of guys from my area who went over to work in the Georgia market and all around the southeastern U.S. And some of the names that you've got coming in, like I said, George South jumped out at me right off the bat. Grizzly Boone's going to be there. Fred Avery's going to be there. Jimmy Powell, one of the incarnations of the Dirty White Boy, if I remember correctly.
I think he was the original Dirty White Boy before
Tony Anthony?
Yes, sir, before Tony Anthony. I think Jimmy was the original, and then they did a little deal up in Memphis area stuff, and then they just kind of went on direction. But if I'm not mistaken, which I have before it passed, Jimmy Powell was the original Dirty White Boy.
Okay. Yeah, there's always been a little bit of question about that because in the southeastern area, which was, Fuller, Welch, Golden, a lot of people knew Tony Anthony before they knew Jimmy Powell, and in other areas, they knew Jimmy Powell before they knew Tony Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, trivia questions answered this evening on Beyond Ringside. And you are listening to Beyond Ringside 20 minutes after the top of the hour. Fast Eddie Lane being joined by Terry the Rocker Lawler. We're talking about A Nightmare to Remember 3 coming up in just a short amount of time on February the 16th in Villa Rica, Georgia. You make a reference to the talent that comes in for Nightmare to Remember. Now, I see a lot of names that are first-time names. I only see a few that are actually making a return trip. And not to mention the fact you've got, I believe, the gentleman who was voted the number one wrestler in the state of Georgia in 2011, and word had it that he either won it again in 2012 or was real close to winning it again in 2012, and that's Kyle Matthews. And
Kyle,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You go ahead, sir, here.
No.
Kyle Matthews was Ted's protege, and even as the term is, he was Ted's wrestling son in this business, and Kyle was actually waiting for Ted to pick him up for them to go to a show in Phoenix City, Alabama, the night that Ted passed away. And Kyle has come a long ways, and he's a really good kid. He learned a lot from Ted, and still sees a lot of that stuff in the way he wrestles and his styles is methodical. And Ted was just all around good guy stuff. Epic Grant was technically Ted's last wrestler he trained, so he's been on the show also. So, but Kyle has also won the last year was voted top our Future Legends Award up in Vegas also.
And also a good friend of ours here on Beyond Ringside, Sean Temper, scheduled to be there on this show. The gentleman who not only runs the Georgia Wrestling Fans website, but also is doing the Georgia Wrestling Report here on Beyond Ringside when our network is running properly. Mark Grayson is going to be one of the ring announcers for this event, right?
Yes, sir. The main MC is Ben Masters, who's been around for a long time. He does a lot of the main announcer stuff. Mark Grayson is a good personal friend of mine, and his son was a good friend / fan of mine also stuff. Mark hops up the crowd. He's there for my raffles and just basically keep the energy going stuff. And then I got Dave Wills, who was known as the Ratchet Still Real to Me type fan.
Yeah.
He is the one who researches out all the legends that we pay tribute to. We used to do about 3 matches. We take the first intermission. The first intermission is dedicated to nothing but to all the legends in the house and special guests. And Dave Wills announces and gives you a little brief history about each legend before he calls them out stuff. So it's between those 3 guys, it's a good working relationship, and we just try to keep a respectful show and respect those who come before us and those who will come after us.
Now, can you give us a rundown of some of the matches that are going to take place?
We have the 3rd annual Headline Nightmare Rumble. We have Billy Black coming back. Buddy Burt tagging up. They're going on this Billy Knight and Billy Jack, and also versus Bobby Hayes and Todd Zane in like an elimination match. We have Bo James, Missy James, and George South taking on Murder One. It's supposed to be Rob Adonis, but I've heard he has some health issues. And Sabrina in a 6-person mixed tag match. My brother, along with the other surviving members of the original Bad Company, Grizzly Boone and John Michaels, are having a retirement match versus Fred Avery and Jim Bryant. Kyle Matthews versus Sean Tippers in the main event. We have the Cruiser elimination match, which has Stupid with Tweety, Cody Jack, Brandon, and Jason Collins under Lightning, and I can't remember the other person who's involved. There's so many names that I'm kind of have a problem keeping track of everything. And then also another person retirement match was a good long-time friend of Ted Allen, which is Big Wood the Lumberjack tagging with Corey Hollis, Chip Day versus Brad Lynch, Epic Grant, and Lamar Phillips. And I feel like I'm missing a couple of names along the matches, but there's 6 matches plus a Royal Rumble plus all the legends. So that's, you can understand why I'm having a hard time, because there's over 70 plus people. Plus, we always have a few surprises that strolls in. Last year, Alan Funk came out of nowhere and just hung out for a while. And you never know who's going to show up. That's the cool thing about the show, is you know what you're getting off the bat or advertised, but you never know what's going to come in behind that as a surprise.
Now, here is the kicker, because you're talking about 70 plus people that are going to be a part of this show in one capacity or another, right?
Yes, sir.
How much are the tickets?
They're $12 for general admissions, $15 for the floor/ringside. We've been offering $2 off, whatever tickets you buy, either the section stuff, pre-sales. And the past 2 years, each show has run right at a 4-hour show. It's when we start at 7, so if we run a little bit long, it goes to 11. It's still not as late as it could be, but for the 4 hours you get out of it, we think the prices are pretty reasonable.
No. Pretty reasonable? Come on, dude. Come on. That you don't have to put a qualifier on there. Reasonable, yes. Inexpensive, yes. A damn good deal, hell yes. Because when you've got this many stars of today and yesterday coming together under one roof, and ringside seats are only $15, come on. A lot of people are going to look and say, that's got to be a work. That's got to be a rib. They can't be serious. That's wrong. I'll get to the door and it'll be $30 at the door. Nope. Ringside seats are only $15. That's why when you got it, go ahead.
No, I just realized I forgot a very important part for this year's show. Is something different. Is we lost a few wrestlers this past year, and a couple of these have close ties to Ted, to Georgia, to the Gulf Coast, and we lost Brad Armstrong and Big Bill Jumbos. And this year we are honoring both of those gentlemen with the Wrestling Lifetime Achievement Award. Willie Bob Armstrong is coming up from Pensacola to accept the award on behalf of Brad, and we have the Jumbo family coming up on behalf of Big Bill Jumbo. Then we have Ron Simmons, who has agreed to come up to take time out of his personal schedule to present the award to Bob Armstrong stuff. So I didn't want that to get lost. We're not advertising on posters because we don't want people to think we're trying to make money off of their desk, but in reality is we want to honor these gentlemen for the service they've done, the contributions they made over the years to this great sport.
And especially if you know Brad Armstrong. Now, I've had the honor and the privilege of working with Brad on a number of shows around the Southeast over the years. And I'm going to go ahead and lay a card out there. I had the honor of working with Brad on his last professional show. He worked with me in the company with which I work in Pell City, Alabama, the Saturday before we lost him. And, to get an opportunity, regardless of whether it's 1 week later or a few months later, to celebrate the life and the career of somebody who cared for the sport of professional wrestling, cared for the industry and the business of professional wrestling. And you never miss an opportunity like that. And bringing it all together under the banner of A Nightmare to Remember 3, the Ted Allen tribute show. You know, it gives you an opportunity. And here's something to think about. You've got Mr. Olympia Jerry Stubbs, Randy Rose, two names that are iconic around the southeastern United States. Mr. Olympia Jerry Stubbs worked in the southeastern market, worked all around the eastern seaboard, made national television. Randy Rose made national television, worked all around the country. And then you've got other superstars who are coming in for this show. Like Scotty Riggs, worked national television, and he's going to be at this event. Joyce Grable, an iconic name in ladies wrestling and an iconic name in professional wrestling, period. Much less putting a gender qualifier on there. Thunderbolt Patterson, icon, legend through and through. And so many names on here that if I feel that I'm going to end up leaving somebody out when I'm running this down. I mean, yeah, I'm looking at this going, I mean, I've read through the lineup 6 times, and just before I got you on the phone, I ran through it 6 times. It's like, how many other names? It's like, wait a minute, Tempers is there? I didn't see Sean Tempers the first 5 times I ran through. It's like, wait a minute. How can you miss the Temptation Sean Tempers? And he will be there on Saturday, February the 16th. And you made the reference that he is going to be going in the main event of the evening against Kyle Matthews. I mean, Epic Grant Mitchell is going to be there. Rob Adonis is going to be there. Bo and Misty James had an opportunity to speak with Bo James a while back. And Murder One, whose MySpace originally got so much acclaim in a positive way when his MySpace profile name was Your Grandmother's Favorite Wrestler. I never let him forget that either. I think he's going to kill me one day for it. And it all comes together under one roof on Saturday, February the 16th in Villa Rica at the Bay Springs Middle School, 122 Bay Springs Road. Doors 6, showtime approximately 7. Now, once again, tickets are, get this, kids, once again, I'll say this again. Tickets are only $15 for ringside seating. You'd have to be an idiot not to go to an event like this with this much star power, this much talent on this lineup. And not to mention, you make the reference to the Nightmare Rumble. And that in and of itself, from what I've seen some of the clips, I've seen some of the pictures, and I've heard people talk about it. This match alone could be worth the price of admission because of everything that happens during this match. Nobody's safe at any time. Now, and the easy way, there is an event page set up on Facebook, and you can also check out www.lnpromotions.com. Check the Facebook page. It's an event page. Just type in Nightmare to Remember, and it'll come up. Go to lnpromotions.com. You'll find out some of the show information over there as well. And Terry, you've been working, you, Mark Grayson, and a lot of the folks have been working diligently to get the word out about the show. I mean, you've been going around to different places and setting up to where people can buy advanced tickets. Can you give me some? Have you got a couple more of those coming up?
This past weekend, we did 4 locations just yesterday alone. Next weekend, we have no plans, but if someone really, really needs it, we'll make it as best we can to make arrangements to make it happen. If not, we are going to offer, and I haven't even put it on Facebook. Everybody knows me. I'm a Facebook pimp. I'm going to make the announcement right here, right now, is we're going to offer the $2 discount off all tickets. And if you want to give us your name, we'll leave it at wheel call so you don't pay the full price. When you walk up to the door, we're going to offer $2 off, same discount as pre-sales for wheel call. Just give us the information via Facebook, how many you need, what section, or location-wise, and your name, just enough to get by. So when you come at the door, we'll have everything ready for you when you get there. So you're going to give you $2 off at the wheel call.
Very cool. Real quick, Terry, upcoming appearances for you yourself.
Well, I've been so tied up working on this the Nightmare show. There's a bigger show coming up in Dalton the last weekend in March. It's got myself, Rock and Roll Express, Raven, David Young, and there's a few other names stuff. I mean, I got some other matches scattered, but my whole focus point is getting to the test show, aka the Nightmare to Remember. And that's because from October, when I get the date in October, till the actual show date, that's pretty much I live, breathe, sweat, bleed, drive. My whole life is consumed trying to make this show as best as we can, bigger and better for the fans, for the legends, to respect those guys, to honor and keep our good friend Ted Allen's name up on the forefront of everybody's minds, and just do the right thing. That's our main goal, as always.
Very cool. Now, how can people find you on this wonderful thing called the World Wide Web?
Terry Rocker Lawler, and you also probably can type in the Jailhouse Rocker, which I just recently brought that gimmick back after a year absence.
I noticed it was on the poster. I was going to ask about that.
As funny as it is, on this show here, I'm not scheduled to wrestle. I'm there in character and gimmick for photo-wise only. But my main thing is to make sure the show runs smooth. But I will be there as a Jailhouse Rocker for any Elvis fans that wants to take photos, because I love taking pictures. But there's so many other talents that my one spot, so to speak, on the show wouldn't hurt or help. So myself and all a few other guys, we decided that there's so many people wanting to be on the show that we gave up our so-called spots so they could have a chance at this year's show. Yeah, but I will be there showing support and just having fun with everybody else this time.
Terry, it's always great to have you on. Don't be a stranger. Like I said, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. My friend, the door is always open.
I appreciate y'all guys. Y'all. Every time I've done something big, whether it be the TED shows, whether it did the breast cancer event, y'all are top notch guys. Y'all are top of my list of showing respect for myself, for Ted, for the wrestling industry, all together stuff. Y'all guys are just totally top notch guys, and I have nothing but total respect for you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, our very special guest, coming back to Beyond Ringside, Terry the Rocker Lawler, or should I say, the Jailhouse Rocker, Terry Lawler, right here on Beyond Ringside. Folks, we're going to the break. We'll be back right after this.
Hey, this is Fred Core Weaver. You listen to Beyond Ringside.
Are ye plagued by foreclosure? Well, here at Jim Ladd and Matey, we can stop your foreclosure now. We're a mortgage rescue company, and for the small fee of everything you hold dear, we will negotiate with your lender on your behalf. Call Jim Ladd and Matey at 1-800-YAR-YAR. That's 1-800-YAR. YAR.
If you're facing foreclosure, talk to the right people. Speak with HUD-approved housing counselors free of charge at 888-995-HOPE. Brought to you by NeighborWorks America and the Ad Council.
This is your boy, Miggity Mabo, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Drop School Day students community. High 7 the classroom, 1,000 America attendance. Quit Variety Day of reasons. Job like to get. Baby Raiza. Relative help an elderly. Happening local on it's a level. Catastrophe, it's a national.
7,000 high school students drop out every school day. It doesn't make sense to us either. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Al Roker. Let me tell you what's happening in your neck of the woods. Right now, 1 in 6 Americans don't know where their next meal is coming from. These are our neighbors, friends, our co-workers, but we can do something about it. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find the local food bank in your community. I'm Al Roker, and together, we're Feeding America.
A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.
In the wake of a disaster, what one thing can you send that will help people the most? A blanket, a tent, a sandbag, a doctor. Actually, if you send a monetary donation, you send all these things. Even a small donation can make a big impact and can quickly become exactly what people affected by disaster need most.
Want to help those affected by Hurricane Sandy? To donate, visit sandy.adcouncil.org. That's sandy.adcouncil.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Science Today. And the next caller is 9-year-old Philip.
Hi, well I know the molecular formula for glucose, C6H12O6, and the general formula for an alkene is CnH2n plus 2, but I can't seem to find any scientific formula for Bob.
Bob?
My goldfish.
Are you ready for kids who eat healthy? Good nutrition can lead to great things. To find out how a healthy lifestyle can help your child succeed, go to mypyramid.gov. Brought to you by the Ad Council and USDA.
So, I'm a dog, and I just got adopted by this new human guy, and I'm starting to wonder how he got along without me. I mean, okay, something as simple as walking around the block. He's got this leash thing, and he puts me on one end and him on the other, and I'm just taking him around. I think he's afraid of getting lost. Without that leash and me guiding him along, I don't think he'd find his way back home. But it's kind of cute.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Hi, this is Carl Edwards here for RAD, the entertainment industry's voice for road safety. You want to make a difference? It's simple. Be responsible. Plan ahead. Designate before you celebrate. Friends don't let friends drive drunk.
Yes, I'm gonna be a star.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Let me drive.
How do you know when it's time to give up the keys? When your dog grabs your keys from your lap and your lap is on the floor. Yep, it's Jeff Foxworthy for RAD saying, when you party, be sure to designate before you celebrate.
If you want to make it home alive, let me drive.
A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Just please don't drink and drive. It's not fun.
The full moon lights the silver rails winding around dark mountains and over steep gorges of jagged rock and one freezing cold rushing black mountain river. I wish there was enough time to describe all of the funny twists and turns that led up to now, but there isn't enough time because there's a ticking clock and the two passengers we care most about don't know anything about it. To see what happens next, visit read.gov to read The Exquisite Corpse, a riveting adventure pieced together by John Sheska, Shannon Hale, Daniel Handler, and other popular authors. Explore new worlds. Read. Brought to you by the Library of Congress and the Ad Council.
I don't recycle. I mean, we can just find another planet for your kids to live on, you know?
Noted non-recycler Tommy Crenshaw talks about the future.
Oh, I can totally see finding another planet that can support life when ours fills up with trash.
Log on to yougottabekidding.org and learn about all the ways you can recycle, unless you're into lame excuses like Tommy's.
Hey, recycling's just not my thing. Starting over on a new planet? Now that's exciting.
Don't be that guy, unless you want people looking at you funny. Log on to yougottabekidding.org.
Welcome to the Georgia Wrestling Report. I'm Mark Grayson from GeorgiaWrestlingFans.com and the 5MinuteMark.com. Last night, we had the Universal Independent Wrestling Show in Villa Rica, new venue at the Villa Rica Elementary School. Main event saw Big Bull Buchanan win back his UIW Heavyweight Championship belt. That's right, I said his belt. This is Bull Buchanan, and he sure showed Shane Marks what it's like to be in Bull Buchanan country last night. Oh, wait a minute. That was DeWitt Dawson, rookie manager of Shane Marks, making a mistake, costing the man the title. It's a great match, great crowd, great show. Be sure to check out Universal Independent Wrestling on Facebook for all the information on their big shows, especially March 16th, Diamond Dallas Page. It's Jake the Snake Roberts coming back on his redemption tour and in Villa Rica with Universal Independent Wrestling. Be sure to check out their Facebook page, like I said. Keep up with that. February 16th, big show, Villa Rica, Georgia. Boy, Villa Rica's become like the big show capital of the world. Nightmare to Remember 3, the Bay Springs Middle School. Third annual show is a lifelong celebration of Ted Allen. The Nightmare trained so many great wrestlers are going to be on the card. Some of his best friends. A lot of great legends, including Bullet Bob Armstrong accepting a Lifetime Achievement Award for his son Brad Armstrong, WWE Hall of Famer Ron Simmons will present the award. Also on hand will be family of Big Bill Dromo, accepting a Lifetime Achievement Award in Big Bill's honor. Can't wait to be there and be part of that. Be sure to check out lnpromotions.com for all the information. Be sure to get your tickets in advance. Save a couple bucks and beat that line at the door. This is a big show and sure to be close to a sellout. Had a great show with Classic Pro Wrestling on Friday night. Franklin, Georgia was lit up with 6 great matches. Dr. Bombay is on a tear. Poor Britt Anderson, making his Classic Pro Wrestling debut, was absolutely destroyed in 45 seconds or less. Chip Day, Josh Storm, little feud going on with the two young men. Chip Day explained why he is Chip Day. Those vicious kicks putting Josh down. 1, 2, 3 for the count. Brian Alexander came out, basically said he was done being Brian the Great Alexander and just wanted to be plain old Brian Alexander, and asked for a shot at Johnny Swinger, which turned out to be one of the greatest matches so far of our short history at CPW. 2 shows strong. Swinger and Brian Alexander went to a 20-minute time limit draw. Wow. Check out classicprowrestling.net for information on our big shows coming up on February 22nd and March 1st at the Heard County Middle School in Franklin, Georgia. $5 tickets are on sale in advance. Where else can you see big-time professional wrestling for $5? Chick Donovan will be on hand, cranking it up, lacing up the boots, jumping back in the ring. There's no telling what the old man's going to do. Also, be sure to check out GeorgiaWrestlingFans.com. Keep with all the 27 active promotions in the state of Georgia. All over the place. We cover everything from South Georgia to North Georgia, from West Georgia to East Georgia, all points in between. There's a ton, just a ton of great wrestling going on in Georgia. Independent professional wrestling capital of America. Be sure to check out the 5minutemark.com for all my shameless self-promotions. Take care.
This is Angel Orsini.
This is the Human Hand Grenade, Danny Only.
This is Dirty Dutch Mantel.
This is Liz Savage.
This is Vinny O'Brien, 2010 Golden Glove champion. This is Gabe Sapolsky from Dragon Gate USA and Evolve Pro Wrestling, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Welcome back to the show. I want to remind everybody you can catch us beyondringside.com. Full-scale address, full-scale website. And a lot of you are listening through there right now. To everybody listening in, thank you for joining us, whether it be on Ustream, whether it be through your personal favorite player, whether it be through their different smartphone or tablet applications, or whether you're listening through the player itself over on .com. Also, facebook.com/BeyondRingsideLive, the official Facebook fan page. We do have facebook.com/BeyondRingside, 5,400 plus people on the friends list. Facebook won't let us add anybody else. Thank you for trying. We do appreciate it. We genuinely do. For everybody's going, dude, why haven't you added me? Because I've got over 1,700 people waiting to be added, and Facebook won't let me add anybody else. I'm sorry. I really am. It's Facebook. Blame them. That's why I say come over to the fan page. Also, follow us on Twitter at Beyond Ringside. One word, run it all together. Mabo, what's up, buddy?
I was wondering if you were even going to validate and acknowledge my existence, just like my parents when I was growing up. Only take notice of me when it's tax time. Piss on you.
You know, I've heard a number of people talk about CM Punk storming the set the way that he did this past Monday night. And a lot of people just said, look, for as many great promos as CM Punk has cut, the gimmick that he did Monday to start off Raw was just absolutely not CM Punk. And you could tell it was forced. Do you agree with that or disagree?
I disagree, dude. Totally disagree.
it didn't seem like he was pushing it just a little bit. To me, it did. Just a little bit, not much. I'm not going to say it was full-blown bull, but by the same token, I've seen him do better. And CM Punk is normally platinum on a microphone, much less gold.
Dude, if you had lost your title to The Rock that way, a guy who might show up twice, 3 times, depending on how much he's under contract, you lost your title to him?
He shows up once, shows up twice,
Shows up
3 times Dwayne.
Anyway, stop. Just stop. I'm going to get a shot collar. And anytime you bust that with
Only
your
if you can do it, only if I can do it back to you.
I don't do the cheese.
You cut the cheese. We've heard you fart before.
I know, and it's epic. Anyway, I don't think it was forced. I mean, given the situation and everything, I think it was fine. I mean, I think it was appropriate. Look, dude, I don't know if you've seen the videos. There's one kid that goes, bat crap crazy when Punk lost, and he storms into his room and shuts the door, and I don't know if it was his mom or his girlfriend, but they open the door. He has his back to them, like a la Blair Witch Project. He's got a Michael Myers mask sitting, not laying there, like sitting displayed on his dresser, and he's like, shut the door. And that's the cleanest thing he says.
Yeah.
So I think CM Punk had the right to be that angry. There was a guy who later on in the week, I don't know if it was earlier or later, before the Rumble or after the Rumble, there was a guy that runs a liquor store who was shot in the face. Okay? He lived. He's missing his eye probably. And somebody asked him, was like, you just got your eye shot out. And he goes, well, it's a lot. He's like, CM Punk's having a worse week than I am because he lost the title to The Rock.
Yeah, I know.
So this guy got his eye shot out, and he's like, feels more sorry for Punk. With follow up to that, I read CM Punk, I guess the guy was having an interview. Anyway, Punk got in contact with that guy and talked to him, and it's like giving him free tickets the next time they swing through his town.
Of course.
To go to the show. I thought it was hilarious. I could just imagine Punk just trying not to die laughing. He's like, dude, you got shot in the eye. He's like, yeah, well, you lost the title to The Rock. I'm sorry.
Wonder if I can tell the truth and get free tickets. Well, no, they just left Birmingham, you bastards.
Hey, look, I tweeted him and said, look, I'll it's like, you want me to do something shameless for free tickets? I'll do it. But that's not the point. Anyway, no, I think it was fine. Just like later on the night when The Rock came out and Punk, did what he did and said what he said, and he's like, oh, I guess we're all going to use curse words now, or we're all going to swear now. I mean, he's really, they say Punk's the voice for the voiceless, and he's like 3/4 of the time he's actually saying how I feel. Like, I'm tired of The Rock's juvenile stuff. I'm tired of him having to use curse words to get over. At least when Cena does something, Cena will poke and jab, but Cena doesn't have to outright curse.
Right.
Or bully. And then, like I said, WWE, you know what? How dare you? How dare you sit there and have The Rock call Vicky what he called her? By the way, saw her at the show. She everybody else came in like dress slacks or whatever. She came marching in yoga pants.
There you go.
It was funny though. I think she might have had Shaw with her, Eddie's daughter, not yours, Eddie Guerrero, but which was a damn shame because she's a heck of a talent. But to call her what he did and say what he said, and then to have him call Paul Heyman, and I know you don't like that word, Eddie, so I'm not going to say that word, but it's Twinkie, boobies.
Go ahead.
To say that, and then for WWE to sit there and hold Be a Star rallies and all this other crap, really? I mean, it literally disgusts me. Like, just, like, if this was the Attitude Era, I'd be fine with it. Stop, we're PG. No, you're not. Not anymore. Not if you're going to have him doing this stuff. Cena will make veiled homosexual references, or like choke on these nuts or whatever, or they're veiled, very veiled. Like you have to dig to find some of them. Rock will just come out and say it, and the WWE's like, yay! Oh, by the way, kids, don't bully other kids by calling them these names. Only The Rock can do it. I literally want them every time Rock cuts a promo, when it goes off the air, I want the WWE logo to come up and say, kids, don't try this at home.
Pretty much.
Because it is hypocrisy at its finest.
Well, that's where I have to jump in and ask the question. For everybody who has been screaming, we want the Attitude Era back, with Raw being in Birmingham today, pre-Super Bowl, we had a 1 o'clock start time. If I had the opportunity to ask Punk one question right now, flashing back to the pay-per-view match with him and Cena, the night that he left, Punk that is, when Cena, after getting the t-shirt thrown back at him a couple of times and him going and handing it to somebody and rolling back in the ring, looked at Punk and said the words, "Welcome back to wrestling." First off, I'd ask him if he remembers saying that, because those words stuck in my mind like no tomorrow. But I would just love to ask him exactly what went through his head when Cena said those words, or when he had a chance to reflect on those words. You know, if you look, I would like to see the modern day version of a WWE contract. I've had a chance to see one from 2010. And amazingly enough, the word wrestler is used in there on a number of occasions. But it's all about packaging and presentation. And for everybody who was pining and bitching and we want the Attitude Era back, we don't want all this kid-friendly crap. I enjoyed the Attitude Era. I enjoyed ECW, the innovators of the Attitude Era. But the one thing in particular, the reason why that incarnation of ECW flew like no tomorrow is the same reason why the Attitude Era flew for as long as it did. You had the Immaculate Collection, no relation to Madonna's Greatest Hits version 1.0. You had an immaculate collection of talent, of personalities, and creativity that could play to any, whether it be the highest common intelligence denominator or the lowest common denominator that was lucky to have an IQ the parallel of dried wallpaper paste, much less greater. But even the Attitude Era had its problems. So did ECW. The Sandman, one of my favorite characters, comes down to the ring with the kendo stick in one hand with a beer in the other hand and smacks himself on the head and causes himself to bleed after killing a whole beer. You had kids who wanted to emulate that. Kids, don't try this at home. You had Austin flipping off everybody, DX saying, "Suck it," doing the crotch chop. And I have a relative who is a teacher in that era. And she was teaching 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. And she was having to watch kids, and she was sending them to the office too. Kids learning how to flip people off, which is normally something that'll get your ass in a fight if you do it to the wrong person. So they caught, and I'm using Todd Gordon from the original ECW's favorite phrase, lightning in a bottle. You can't recreate the Attitude Era with the mix of talent that is in the WWE right now. There is no way in hell, no chance in hell, no window to do it. There is no way that the Viper Randy Orton can be the Rattlesnake Stone Cold Steve Austin. John Cena is closer to Hulk Hogan than anybody in the Attitude Era, period, other than Ken Shamrock, and Shamrock didn't talk much. Even returning Goldust during the Royal Rumble match, which I was damn glad to see him back, and I would love to be able to do with an interview with him, but he doesn't do interviews. Sorry, Dustin, had to say it like that, dude. I'm a dick. Go figure. And yes, I said that.
And yet nobody cares.
Pretty much. Except for my pastor who's probably listening right now. It's like, really, Eddie? You'll be praying for that next Sunday, won't you? I said, yes, I will. I'll make a special trip into church to go for absolution on that one. And I'm not Catholic. I'll just pray. But there's no way And it's weird because I would love to be able to sit in on a meeting of WWE's creative team, quote unquote creative team. And how many people that have been in the sport and the business of professional wrestling are in that room at any one given time? I mean, I personally don't know. Normally, I don't care. But putting The Rock with the belt over the expense of one of the best title runs that you've given anybody in the last 20 years? I understand putting butts in seats. But by the same token, I think that if you had waited one night and let it happen on Raw, people would not be complaining. You could have ended the title run on Raw rather than the pay-per-view, as everybody predicted. I have to use one more reference that for some people is going to be obscure. Go ogle it, okay? However, Who Shot JR? The best television cliffhanger of all time. I genuinely think that you could find a way to recreate a storyline that would have the same impact as Who Shot JR. But I don't think that WWE Creative is prepared to do something as intellectually challenging as that. Mabo's having keyboard sex right now.
Yes, I am.
There you go. Bowman,
you're rambling, so I figure.
Bowman, come on back in.
About what?
All of the above. Agree or disagree with anything that I've said?
Wasn't listening to a damn thing you said.
There you go. Last call.
Well, I mean, as far as trying to, I said my piece about it. You know, this isn't the Attitude Era anymore. I don't think they're trying to bring the Attitude Era back, but at the same time, they are, you know, just layering on the whole. You know, we're PG, be a star, don't be a bully, blah, blah, blah. But then they go and they do half the crap that they do. And I'm just like, that's the one thing I don't like people who are hypocritical.
Yep.
Don't be a hypocrite. You know, that's like, I'm not going to say names, but I work with a rather large, rotund woman who doesn't know when to shut her mouth, whether it be talking or eating, and she knows who she is. Don't sit there and say, oh, girl, I'm on a diet. I'm trying to lose weight. And then you come into the break room with a plate piled up with bacon and drink a Diet Coke and thinking that's solid. You know, don't do that. Oh, it's lean. It's turkey bacon. It's lean. It's lean. I'm going to lose some weight. A pound of anything is not good. You're being hypocritical. Like, oh, girl, look at this. I can fit in my size 52 jeans. I couldn't do that 2 months ago. 52? Seriously? I'm a fat ass, and I don't even wear 52s.
I'm in 38s, luckily.
So, I'd love to be back in size 38. But anyway, so the point is, don't be hypocritical. Don't sit there and tell people to, you know, don't be a bully, be a star. And then turn around and give the belt, your prestigious title, you know, not the secondary heavyweight title you have over on SmackDown, but that stupid, blingy, spinny crap, which I pray to the Lord above that they give The Rock a new belt. I don't care if they bring back the Brahma Bull belt.
I'd love to see it.
Do you want to bring back the Attitude Era there, Sunshines? Bring back the Brahma Bull belt.
Bring back the Smoking Skull.
Well, that would make no sense since Stone Cold doesn't have the belt. It's time to get rid of the little spinner belt. But don't put your title, the WWE title, the one that you had for I don't know how long, don't give it to the guy who his whole shtick is to come out there and insult people. Because that's what they're doing. Like I said, Cena doesn't really insult people. He makes veiled references. But he doesn't straight up insult with hatred. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I mean, it's you know, it's like I've said before. You know, especially me growing up, the two biggest things you can bully somebody with, like a kid, is their weight, and then their, how they look, in the face, their physical appearance. Not necessarily, I know that some people would say that's the same thing now, because you can, you could be, fat and still pull it off.
Yeah, I know. I do.
Yeah, but you've never succeeded.
There you go.
There's, but then you just don't. You could be skinny and still ugly, and people, that's just not right. Next thing you know, Rock's made his veiled references to homosexuality on a couple of people. That's the third thing kids get bullied for. Why don't you just go ahead and make fun of CM Punk for find out that he grew up poor? Why don't you go ahead and make fun of that? That's right, Rock. Don't be a bully, be a star. They're going to change it now. It's like, don't be a star, be the Brahma Bull. And you're going to give the guy the most prestigious title in the company. I'd say in the world. That title is the most prestigious title in pro wrestling today.
And it's funny because I look at the overall situation from the Attitude Era, and I want to remind you of something. 90% of what the Attitude Era was with the top-tier talent was finding a way to bully somebody. I mean, how many times did we see D-Generation X try to bully Sergeant Slaughter, bully the Stooges?
Sergeant Slaughter, bullied Michael Cole.
Kevin Kelly.
Yeah, bullied, even took their shots at, when it was Hunter and Triple H. Even bullied Vince before he became Mr. McMahon.
You mean bullied Hunter and it was Hunter and Triple H?
I mean, Hunter and Triple H. That's how big his ego was. It was his nose.
It really was.
It was his nose and him. But yeah, I mean, do you remember? Do we need to even bring up not the blackface angle that the Triple H ran DX did, but when Shawn and Hunter sprayed the locker room of the Nation of Domination and blamed it on the Canadians?
That was just starting crap.
Yeah, but I mean, the fact was that they threw out racial stuff.
Yeah.
Do we remember the gang warfare between? I mean, first of all,
Los Barriquas and the street and the motorcycle gang and the Nation of Domination and
the Nation of Domination, which all of them spun out of the Nation of Domination. Crush started his own white power. Come on, you had the frickin' Harris brothers in there, who are known for having the SS symbol tattooed on them. You got your white power biker gang, then you had your the Los Barriquas, the Puerto Rican drug cartel looking gang, and then you had the angry black gang. Yeah, the Attitude Era was built on bullying and being just as raw and uncensored as possible, and that's fine, because literally that's what the 90s were: extreme and raw and angry. And for some reason the 90s was an angry era. We figured we were all going to die in 1999, so why not go balls to the wall?
Yeah.
And then guess what? We didn't get Y2K, we got Y2J.
Which I'll take it.
I know.
I'm glad to see Jericho back.
Yeah, man's a hell of a talent. Don't really know if I agree with his tattoo, but
he's lost too much weight though. He's lost too much size.
But no, still though, he looks like an in shape version of Neil Patrick Harris to me. But
oh, don't insult Chris like that.
Oh, you almost made me cuss. Screw you. NPH is the bomb. All right, that's all I'm gonna say.
I'm just not a fan.
Huh?
I'm not a fan.
Well, it's because you don't like him because he's gay. But
I don't care if he's. I don't care if he's gay or not. I don't care who. What, I don't care who's what.
Oh, why are you getting defensive?
I'm not. I just.
Whoa,
No. Because that seems to be America's favorite argument. You don't like them because they're this. You don't like them because they're that. No, I'm just not a fan. And it's not you. It's not you. It's not you. So don't take it that way. It's just everybody wants to fall back on this and try to put the stereotype. Don't propagate. Eliminate the hate.
So what you're saying is you have no problem. You're okay with him being gay.
I don't care. I'm apathetic.
You like him being gay.
I'm apathetic.
So you're all right with him being gay.
I'm completely and totally ambivalent.
So yeah, okay. So you're a self-loathing. No, I'm not even gonna get into that.
Don't even try it with me, dude.
I was just picking on you, just getting you riled up.
In the words of Heinz Doofenshmirtz, I'm completely and totally ambivalent.
By the way, dude, at Disney World, I saw this. I know this.
They have a Phineas and Ferb section.
Huh?
They have a Phineas and Ferb section.
No.
Actually, they do.
At Disney, no, I know that, Dingleberry. No, at Disney World, you can now buy Doofenshmirtz like drink, and it comes in like the beakers and stuff. And it doesn't have any kind of Phineas and Ferb. It says I think it says Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated on it or something.
Now, what episode did I take the I'm completely and totally ambivalent from?
I don't know. I'm not a nerd. I don't sit there and remember every episode like you. I just watch them and enjoy them.
Yeah, there you go. The Christmas episode, Santa Claus.
Anyway, but
I like cartoons. So what?
Right.
No, but the thing about it is that's what the majority of the Attitude Era was. It was bullying.
Calm down. Nobody's arguing whether you like cartoons or not.
Okay. It was totally bullying more than anything else. You had Austin trying to bully McMahon because McMahon was bullying Austin. You had DX bullying half of everybody else and making fun of him and ribbing and poking jokes and typical classical verbal bullying. I mean, and then you had other situations in play like, oh, God. And I'm just, the safe zone for me, and this is where I genuinely enjoyed the APA. The APA to me was the best thing that I saw genuinely. I mean, I'm not saying out of everything it was the absolute best, but it was one of the best things about the entire run because the fact you had two of the baddest hombres on the entire roster whose main thing at that particular point was, we're going to sit back here, we're going to smoke a cigar, we're going to drink a beer, we're going to play some poker. If you want us, you're going to pay for us, and we'll be back in 5 minutes. And that's what it was. The APA to me was badass because of the fact that they didn't have to be badass. They just were badass. Agree or disagree?
I am completely and unequivocally ambivalent. No, I mean, it's just, I'm just tired of the hypocrisy coming from WWE at this point. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would be, well, if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. Well, here's the thing. It wasn't this is something that they threw out there mid-shift. How long have they been running this Be a Star thing?
Oh, God, 2 years?
At least, okay? And then they're going to throw The Rock in there. That's, you just can't all of a sudden do that and expect to keep a fan base. It would be different if they brought The Rock back in, let him do his, little immature stuff, and then didn't have nothing to do with Be a Star anymore. It had nothing to do with it. If they stopped showing the Be a Star stuff and just let The Rock say what he says, then I could be like, you know what, you're right, I will walk away. I don't have to watch this. I'm taking my ball and I'm going home. But no, don't sit there and do that. Don't sit there and say, don't be a bully, be a star, and then just call people what they say. It's just, it's so disgusting.
I know. Dude,
I mean, at least with TNA, yeah, right now, garbage. Oh, have you heard the word Thunderbird?
Bird, bird, bird. Yeah, that bird is a word.
Bird, 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 bird. Don't, because I'll start dancing like that too, and I've messed up my foot.
Your foot?
Foot. My foot.
You said foot.
Well, I'm rolling off the bed as I speak.
Replay the tape. He said foot. Is it the foot and the butt combined? Has he got his foot up his own ass?
No, I'm saying I was rolling off the bed as I said it, so half of me was like, what? Because I'm like, hanging off my foot, son of a...
Gun?
Anyway, yes, kids, I literally have nothing to do right now but do this damn radio show.
Which is why he should be in studio right now, but...
I have ADD when it comes to doing the show. But anyway, no, have you heard Dixie Carter's major announcement for TNA Impact Wrestling?
What, she's bringing in The Rock?
Yes, she's bringing in... Shut up. By the way, how many times has people said how many times have we told each other to shut up during the whole show tonight?
I think it's like 18.
It's like the shut up meter. No, she has announced that at the beginning of March, Impact, in the Impact Zone, it's closing down. They're shutting down the Impact Zone. And TNA will be going live, across the country, live every Thursday night.
Thank you, God.
At least that's what I took from the announcement. But what I don't understand is let's put it this way. She said that the last tapings from the Impact Zone, I believe, is maybe the first Thursday in March, somewhere in that area, and then the following Thursday they're going to be live in Chicago.
And the first thing that we all said when we asked how would we make Impact better, get the hell out of the Impact Zone.
Well, see, somebody, I was discussing that with some people, that I work with, and they said, well, they're going to start losing money. And I was like, I don't think they are. Because there's a difference. First of all, nobody's paying to go into Impact while they're at Orlando.
Nope, they're not.
I don't know how they get their money from Universal Studios, but they get their money from Universal Studios. Personally, I think they're tearing that part down and making more Harry Potter rides. I don't know. But, and somebody's like, well, if you look at the numbers at the house shows, they don't really draw that much. That's a house show. Correct?
Correct.
And they're usually in smaller venues.
Well, like WWE was in the BJCC for the Raw House show today. Did they expect to pull 16,000 people? Hell no, they didn't expect it. Were they hoping for maybe 4,000 to 5,000? Yes, they were.
Well, I can guarantee you, when I tried to get tickets, all they said was left was the $52 tickets.
And guess what? They probably had a damn good house.
Well, probably what it was everybody with the $15 and $20 tickets moved to the $52 tickets. But that's beside the point. But Raw knows WWE knows going to a house show, it's not going to be everybody. First of all, that's why it's held in the afternoon. Most house shows are held on Saturdays and Sundays.
Right.
And they're held in the afternoon, or early evening. And they know people are going to, they're not going to come out all in. But if you say we're going to put you on TV, people are going to show up.
Hell yeah.
It's like, well, hell, Martha, I ain't driving all the way down into the big city to not be on the television with my son. Well, hey, guess what? It's not going to be a house show where they're moving it to Monday night. It's going to be a Raw. Hell, Martha, let's go. I made this party shot here about saying how much I love The Rock. So they'll go. And I think, honestly, I think the fans of TNA will, come out in droves because they know that's where all the good stuff happens. All the good stuff happens on the TV shows and the pay-per-views.
Look, Impact is on one of the stronger cable networks out there. If it wasn't a good network, Bellator wouldn't have moved. And by the way, timeout, 60 good seconds. Last night, UFC 156, I caught the main event, the Aldo Edgar fight. First off, the judge's decision is total BS in my opinion, that there is no way that he won that fight by that margin. There is no way that there was not a split decision last night. There is no way that Edgar is not the UFC featherweight, the champion at that weight level coming out of last night's show. I personally was sitting back watching everything that occurred during the live fight, and lo and behold, I had Frankie Edgar winning 3-2 over the champion Jose Aldo. And everybody who was at the table with me is like, that was bull. That's BS. That's totally wrong. However, to anybody and everybody who fights in mixed martial arts, eliminate the doubt, knock the sucker out, or get him to tap out. If you let it go to the judges, guess what? There's a chance you're going to get screwed by irrational, irrelevant people who have nothing better to do than say, well, guess what? My favorite in this fight is the guy over there in the blue corner, not the guy in the red corner. So therefore, I'm going to vote for the guy in the blue corner to keep his title. Eliminate the option. Find a way to finish the fight. And that was 60 good seconds.
Was it? I wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah, close enough.
But anyway, I honestly think, though, that if you start saying no, you're going to be live on Impact. It's not just going to be... Because if you notice, they also bring out, on the house shows, not all the rosters are always there. You're not always going to have Sting or Hogan or, whomever.
Angle,
exactly. With it being the show, with it being a full live show, everybody's going to be there. So I think they're going to benefit from it. Now, how does this affect the pay-per-views? Like, are they going to be doing are they going to do the live pay-per-views from somewhere else, and then these taping pay-per-views that they're going to do? How are they going to do that? Because they had,
two in the can.
Huh?
They got 2 in the can.
Well, they got 2 in the giggity. But after March, they've got the 2 that they could show, and then what are they going to do? When are they going to film the other ones? And by the way, another little side note. I keep going side notes here. If you remember, a couple episodes back when I was discussing the various themes, one of them was going to be, it was going to be a hardcore justice theme, and everybody thought it was going to be, they were saying, it's going to be an ECW, maybe another ECW original. And then I read, earlier today that it wasn't going to be an ECW original reunion. And I was like, maybe it'll be a WWE ECW. Maybe we'll see Kevin Thorne and the Zombie and Elijah Burke.
And the Boogeyman.
And, all those other guys. But no, actually what they're saying is they're talking about having some of the, and this might be kind of dangerous, but this is another thing that'll benefit. Much like the X Division and the World X Cups and all that stuff, those themes. They're talking about bringing in some of the more hardcore independent wrestlers that the fans might not know. Like
CZW.
Huh?
CZW, IWA stars.
Yeah.
WXW.
Yeah, but start bringing in, some of the more hardcore guys that you might see. You might see a Bully Ray take on Tank from over there in NWA. Was it Anarchy? Wherever Tank's at.
It's not NWA anymore.
Oh, okay. Then whatever the hell it is.
Anarchy.
Is it just Anarchy?
Yeah.
Okay, then you might see Tank from over in Anarchy. He does the hardcore stuff. He does the strong style. So who knows? I think that might be very beneficial. Your thoughts on the whole permanently leaving and shutting down the Impact Zone? I mean, let me double check.
Thank God.
While you speak on it, let me double check now. I don't want to.
If they are leaving the Impact Zone for any length of time and taking Impact on the road for television, thank God. Did I make that clear enough? Can I say it again? Thank God. The number one thing, and okay, look. We're not watching an episode of Last Man Standing. We're not watching 30 Rock. There's no need to have the same set, same design every week. The Impact Zone became boring to a lot of us. You associate a lot of the times, and this is something where okay, here's the thing. In the world of regional and localized professional wrestling, you are limited in the number of things that you can do to a particular venue. If you have a good working agreement with the place, you can set up lights, you can set up scenery, backdrops, logos, cages. But even then, there are limitations. The opening screenshot of Raw every week, or just about every week, when they show the fans, the signs are different. I'm one of those, and this is just me. I will look and see who's brought what kind of sign. What does it say? Are they trying to get themselves over? Are they trying to get their favorite? Are they trying to get their favorite person's attention? And that is one thing that I genuinely appreciate about Cena. Don't laugh too hard when I say this. The fact that he will look around and he will see different pro-Cena signs, even anti-Cena signs. The thing that made me come out of my chair a couple of weeks ago was when Cena, just before the Rumble, the last promo that he did, the promo afterwards, when he rolled outside and he gave the "We Hate Cena" guy a hug again. I loved it. I thought it was priceless. I thought it was a beautiful moment. A lot of people, for the longest time, I hated what John Cena had become. I don't dislike John Cena. I don't know John Cena. I shook his hand one time. I don't know John Cena. I haven't gone to breakfast with him. I haven't gone to dinner with him. I haven't hung out in a bar and drank bottled water with him. All I know about him other than the one time is like, hey, Eddie Lane, good to meet you. Other than that, all I know is what I see on television. And there was a time where I felt that John Cena on television had become incredibly stale. After the move away from the Doctor of Thugonomics and went to My Time Is Now and da-da-da-da-da-da, I felt he became vanilla. He became PG. And to see what John Cena has done with his status, with his celebrity that was born in WWE, born genuinely in WWE, not as the prototype in OVW, which I thoroughly enjoyed that because he showed tremendous wrestling acumen. But getting back to the whole root of the situation, you see the signs. Everybody gets a chance to get their sign on television. You see their T-shirts and da-da-da-da-da. And I just think a change in scenery every once in a while is a damn good thing. That's why when the company with which I work, when we have an opportunity to go to a new venue, whether it's television or not television, It's a new set of walls. It's a new locker room. It's new concession stand people. They may have a different cheese for their nachos. You know, variety is normally a damn good thing. And getting Impact out of that place in Florida and getting it on the road to see new people, to discover a new life and new civilizations. Yeah, that's it. I was trying to find the old Star Trek reference. I just, if it's true that they're going to take Impact on the road for Thursday nights, I think that's a hell of a thing, and I genuinely hope. I wish them the best. I really think it's going to help.
This is what it says. I might be wrong as far as they're closing down the Impact Zone. That might just be me reading into it too much, but it just says this is like a statement released by TNA. They go, just the long story short, I would just give you the one little byline. For the past 8 years, Impact Wrestling has been filmed on the largest soundstage at Universal Studios Orlando. The final two shows,
Final two, yeah, that's a hint.
To be filmed from the Impact Zone at Universal will be February 28th and March 7th. And of course, March 14th, they're going to be at the, where in Chicago? Sears Center, the Sears Center Arena.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that should say something right there. If they're saying the final two, I mean, are they just going to hold? I'm just wondering what they're going to, you know, is Universal kicking them out? Was this Dixie's idea? Well, I guess we'll never know, really.
I don't know.
But moving on from that, because we got to be wrapping it up here soon.
Yes, Mark Bowman, shameless plugs.
Well, I wasn't going to shameless plugs. I was just going to go another thing, real quick.
Hurry.
Obviously, there's not going to be a WWE Championship Elimination Chamber with Rock taking on Punk, correct?
That sucks.
No, I'm just saying that's what they're saying.
Unless they change their mind tomorrow night on Raw, no, there's not.
Well, they might. Yeah, unless they say something. So that leaves a Raw brand, quote unquote, Elimination Chamber open. Now they're already talking about for the SmackDown brand. They've been teasing names. As you know, Jack Swagger returned this past Friday night, and for some reason he was on the Raw House show. So they're working on an actual. But I heard that was even going to be for a number one contendership.
It should be.
Well, normally they do them for the title.
Yeah, I know, but there are times when if you've got your championship locked into a positioning heading into WrestleMania, it's not always the best thing to do to put that champion on the line, put that champion's body on the line in Elimination Chamber, because people get hurt in that damn structure.
Oh, no, I agree. But with that being said, and I know Sheamus is technically a SmackDown guy, but I've heard people, just murmurings, if you will. What if, and go with me on this there, Senior Edward, you take all three members of the Shield. You take Cena, Ryback, and Sheamus. Put them in the Elimination Chamber, but it breaks down War Games style. Because you can that is actually an option in the WWE games these past few years. You can have a six-man tag, or a six-man match, tag match. We didn't say tag the teams, but and it's done elimination style, huh?
Alternation, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but it's also elimination style. It's not like one pin to win. You got to eliminate all three, members of the team. But how would you feel if they did that for the first time?
I'd love it.
I mean, I could see it fly. And, completely unrelated note, because I'm all, unrelated-y. The power apparently went out at the Superdome. I'm not lying. I'm seeing all over Twitter and Facebook that the power went out at Superdome.
Funny.
And everybody's making the jokes for that, the Undertaker needs to come out and raise his hand, turn the power back on.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Or the lights go off and then come back on and Sabu hits an Arabian facebuster on Ray Lewis.
That'd be no, not Ray Lewis, Colin Kaepernick.
But that was when I just saw that, and I've been meaning to tell you that for the past 5 minutes. But sometime in June, WWE DVD release. I've been wanting for this and chomping at the bit for this for a long time, and I hope WWE does it. And they put the good ones in there, not the crappy ones that were NWO and Team Icon and the Horsemen or whatever. I want the good ones. But WWE is putting out a War Games DVD in June. I know.
Look, they're going to have to put War Games 1 and War Games 2 in there, so you can be anti-Horseman all day long. But
No. I don't mean that Horseman. I mean what was the one War Games I was talking to my buddy Jeff, where it was the NWO.
Screw that.
Huh?
Screw them.
And then the Ultimate Warrior had a team, and then Piper started gathering a team, because you remember on Nitro he was holding tryouts for all these, various, I think one of them was like a karate guy, and one of them was a boxer, and one of them was a tough man.
Right.
And then they just scrapped that idea altogether, and Piper was like, all right, Rick, you aren't, and another member of the Horsemen can join me. And they had 3 teams going into the War Games. That was garbage.
Yeah, that was bad. I don't think I ever saw that one.
Huh?
I don't think I ever saw that one.
Oh, thank the Lord above you didn't. It was garbage.
There are some moments that happen in pro wrestling that I would just love to scratch my eyes out over.
But pretty much any War Games that were pre-Hogan, and yes, that includes the original one where Sting shows up, and then that starts that whole cacophony of crap. But anything pre-NWO War Games, I hope they put on there. Because those were the best ones, Eddie. You know they were.
Oh, yeah. From the Great American Bash, War Games 1 and War Games 2. Granted, they were similar matches because of the timeline and everything else involved and the people involved. But War Games 1, to me, the original is always still the best. And
even the ones that were just like, it was like the Freebirds taking on Dusty, Dustin, and the Nasty Boys or whatever.
Well, see, I don't like a 4-man War Games. A 5-man holds the drama better.
Oh, I agree. It's just like it used to be 5-man Survivor Series, but
right. It's like I'm sitting over here and I'm looking at the original VHS of the War Games.
Always got to rub that in, don't you?
Yeah. You're gonna hate me for this because I'm finally gonna tell you this. When my family, huh?
Nothing.
I heard you. When my family and I had a place down at Logan Martin over in Lincoln. And there was this little store that rented videotapes. Well, they were getting ready to get out of the videotape business. And the guy said, anything you want. Because I'd been a regular in that store for a long time. And I just happened to look in the sports section, and there it sat. War Games 1, The Match Beyond. And I said, yeah, I just caught this. This one just caught my eye. How much? He said, yeah, it very rarely ever went out. Just take it.
I mean, that doesn't make me happy. It just makes you think you're fortunate. I mean, that's not
It was very opportunistic at the timing, but yeah,
and it even had a really cool cover too.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it right now.
Shut up. That's 19.
It is 19. Go ahead and do shameless plugs.
19, we're 19 minutes towards the top of the hour.
No, we're at 29 till the top of the hour. Let's go ahead. Let's take it home.
I was just trying to tie it in. Especially that's my way of saying shut up because I got to go to bed. I'm the one that's doing all the talking.
I'm not. Shameless plugs, Bowman.
This, the other. Crap. What are shameless plugs again? I haven't done it in a while.
I know you keep saying, this, the that, the other thing.
Okay, yeah, just go listen to this, the that, or the other thing. You guys know where to find me, but I do want to have a new person I want to. Wait, if I say I have a new person I want to plug, that sounds bad. So
how cute is she?
New company that I would like to to use the industry terms. We're gonna K5 that or whatever Joseph Clark says. We're gonna K-fab that. We're gonna K-fab that. K-fab it.
K-fab.
We're gonna K-fab it.
Oh God, barf.
If you live in the Alabama area, now delivery is limited. This is a mom and pop store, so to speak, if you will, mom and pop business. They're on Facebook. Look them up. If you're in the in the central Alabama area, they're called Sissy's Sweet Spots. That's SISSY''S Sweet Spots. They specialize in gourmet style cupcakes or whatever. They're located out of Asheville. Good people. I know them. Wonderful folks. Delicious. When I say delicious cupcakes, I mean delicious cupcakes. If you live within the Asheville city limits, it's free delivery. If you're inside St. Clair County, Rainbow City, Aniana, and Trussville, it's a $3 fee. But it's a flat fee. It's not like per cupcake. It's $3, it's a flat fee for delivery. But price listings, 12 per half dozen, 20 per dozen. That does not include mixed. And you get a second dozen of the same. If you get 1 dozen for 20, you'll get a second dozen of the same flavor for half price, $10.
Nice.
Minis are $12 per dozen, and you get 2 dozen of the same flavored minis for $20.
Cool.
And then, especially, if you go up, the more you get, they work with you on the price and everything. And they've got everything from Oreo to like a wedding cake to a turtle. And I don't mean like the, reptile.
Amphibian.
Huh?
Amphibian.
No. They're reptiles. But, I mean, whatever the turtle. How would you describe a turtle flavor, Eddie?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, it's got like pretzels and caramel or whatever.
Yeah,
no. They've got believe it or not, they've got a sundae looking one with a little cherry and the chopped nuts and the chocolate sauce. For those in the South who like nanner pudding, and when I say nanner pudding, in just like saying wash rag, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
They've got a nanner pudding one with a little Oreo on top. They just got like so